All right, let's do this, my friends. Let us do this. Let's get on with these things. Okay, cool. So we have some updates of things that have been happening and been going on. When was I live? The 20th. That was, yes, it was Thursday. Okay. Live now. Let's put it out. Today we're going to discuss Frago, WARDOGS, and TARKOV. We are indeed. We are indeed. Right, let me just set up the Twitter feed and missing posts, and then we shall get right on with the stream. So I'm on a little later today. I've been finishing something off, God. I've been under the cosh with stuff, but we're here, and things are actually hopefully going to be slightly more chill now. So it's good. I don't normally stream over the weekend anyway, so that's fine. I'm basically on my usual schedule ish, but I'm, just plus a couple of hours. So today the fam is out a bit later, so I'm going to be streaming. I'm still streaming about 2.5, 3 hours or something now, because usually I'd finish about now, and then go off and do stuff. But they're not going to be back for a bit, so I was like, okay, I need to get some stuff done, and then we can stream, and then I can get some more stuff done tonight as well. But I wanted to play because we need to talk about some things. So I guess the most important one being the fact that I basically played WARDOGS for like the last 3 nights. I didn't want to stream it. I don't think it's a game that I'm really going to stream because I was playing with like my IRL buddies. So not really. I just didn't really want to stream it. I wanted to just like play that old OG experience and just vibe with them, right, and not be live. It's a different experience being live, to be honest, especially if you're like with mates who are like not streamers. So I didn't want to make it anything weird and just play like the old days. And you know what? Honestly, it was so good. I literally stayed. I haven't played a game where I've stayed up that late for so long. It was bad for me. I'm actually quite glad the playtest is over because I don't think I went to bed before 2 for like 3 days in a row, which, as anybody with kids knows, is like actually mental, right? Because they get up at like 7:30 at the very latest. My bad. No, it's not your fault. I'd have been on anyway, with or without you. But it was mad. It was just completely mad. Ross, yo, what's up? And obviously Joe with Gene said, yo, what's going on? Back. How's the Solder band? Keep me for legend. Have to get stream. Butterchuck, thank you. Appreciate it. Bingo. Yo, right. I'm still. Let me just get this. Let me just get this ready. I think playing Tarkov thinking WARDOGS is probably an accurate representation. Like I basically, so I don't have that much time, right, to play usually, and I've managed basically by sacrificing my sleep, I managed to play again. Bearing in mind, I didn't play any of the other alphas. I literally only played this closed beta this weekend. I managed to play 30 hours, which is it's bad for me, genuinely bad for me. But it's good. It was a good time. It was honestly, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. WARDOGS mentioned when honestly the game's great. The thing is, and this is what I was saying, right? Like I don't think I'm going to stream it because I just don't think it's really an interesting stream game for me. Not solving anyone for it to quality control. Oh, that is nice. Better pay, excellent, excellent. Yeah. So like it's just, I don't think it's a very good stream game because it's one of those games that's like more fun to actually play than it is to. Than it is probably to watch, right? It's probably one of those games. Tarkov's like literally the opposite, which is why Tarkov like works so well on stream. WARDOGS is amazing to watch as well as play. Possibly, maybe if you had like a good group, but like when I stream on my own, and so solo WARDOGS is like, I don't think that's it. For me, to be honest, that's not really. I don't know. And I'm not going to stream like with my buddies because it just doesn't. It's just not something I want to do. Well, there's definitely YouTube material out there for it, for certain. I mean, I already did my first video about WARDOGS, but like, how long for? I don't know. Am I going to be making content about WARDOGS for 6 months? I don't know, but I'll definitely put some stuff out at the beginning. There's a video that I want to make. I haven't got around to it yet because I've been working on something else. But there's a video that I really want to make, which is like basically just like shenanigans, because I only really started to understand the game. Well, actually, one second, just before I talk about too much more stuff, I want to figure out what do I actually need. So I need personnel PMC. I need to go to the Lighthouse. Okay, let's do this. So yeah, I only really started to understand like the structure of the game kind of after about like, I would say 15, 20 hours or something. Something like that. I didn't fully get like what you could do. I've never played Armor King of the Hill, for example, so I'm just not really well versed in this particular genre, this particular slice of FPS. Are we titled Me Too? Yes, Sam, I know, it's crazy. There's so many memes out there as well about just like, please let us in. I think there's some shenanigans going down as well. But any TARKOV videos in the pipeline? Yes. Efficient Kits is coming next. That is the next TARKOV video that is coming. WARDOGS so early in development is going to have a lot of content updates. Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Adam, what's up, dude? Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I only really like figured out what was going on after that first like 15 hours, I would say, maybe 10, 15 hours of just like, because you play the game, you're playing the assault infantry guy, you're doing the thing, you're like in the combat zone, you're like going to hot zone, you're making some money, you get some kills, like, and then you think, what else am I going to do? And then you start trying to do like the recon stuff, like trying to snipe people, but the break action's awful, and it's like, okay, I got to learn how to do some XP, get some XP here, and then maybe you do some logistics, like funneling stuff to the fobs. But then only after about like 15 or 20 hours of gameplay did I realize like actually there's some like real kooky stuff you can do here, and that's when the game really opened up and I was just like, okay, this is actually legitimately amazing. Because of like the creativity and the flexibility of the sandbox, the way that the game is structured means you can do all sorts of crazy stuff, and Joe in chat can attest because we played on Discord over the weekend. And so there's a couple of things that I had on my bucket list once I realized what you could do. So basically the main thing, I'm being a bit vague because I'm trying to just explain the context. My wife always complains about this. She's just like, you're trying to say one thing, but you say like 50 other things before you say the thing you want to say. So the main breakthrough for me was the fact that you can build a fob anywhere you like. And it seems obvious now that I know and have thought about it, but before then, it just wasn't really obvious. I was just kind of like, oh, you build the fob in the control zone to ferry resources so you can build mortars or whatever else. I think also it might partly be to do with the fact that there was people like started to unlock the artillery and things like that, and a lot of the arty, because the arty has like a 3-kilometer range, so you could sit outside of the control zone and shoot into the zone. And I think also because of the way the game's structured, it's like you want to be in the control zone early when you're first making your character, because that's like how you just make money just for being there. So that kind of helps with like new players getting involved and like figuring out like how to make some cash or whatnot. But anyway, once I realized you could build a fob outside, you could do all sorts of crazy stuff. So like, and also the fobs like are really, you always think of like a fob as like a big base, but you can make a really lean fob to do like one very specific thing. So what we ended up doing, we were looking at like where the helicopter lines are, right? Because like, the WARDOGS map looks like this. So you've got like the three teams. Is it green there and then blue here and then red there? That's usually the way it is, I think. And then red over here. And then you've got the control zone, which is in the middle, right? And the thing that's I actually don't like it with the maps like this, by the way, because I think blue is actually a genuine disadvantage. I think that's why people don't really like blue. But yeah, when the zone is like this, if you're on green, and this is what we were, you can like take a truck, and you can just like, yeah, exactly, yeah. So you could take a truck, and you could just pootle around the outside of the map, and you can park up like here, and you build literally a fob on its own, and then you build an anti-air like missile launcher right here. And these guys, the blue guys, they're trying to like take helis and take people in, and then the helis have to come back to grab more people, right? But you're sat here with a freaking SAM site right in the middle of their line. Oh god, and it's genuinely the most obnoxious thing ever. You could do the same thing with the Ural vehicle. You can basically just be like insurgents in a technical. So you can drive the Ural, and you can fill the Ural with RPGs, for example. And I mean, you can do it on your own. You can genuinely do it on your own. Like the Ural's own inventory. So there's two ways to bring stuff, and I was kind of figuring this out. Two ways to bring things. You can either bring things. There's the crate that people are technically supposed to buy them from you. So you can bring a whole bunch of like RPGs in the crate, and that goes into the back of the van. And then you drive to the zone in this van, and then you can just like grab stuff out the crate after deploying it. But that's a bit like, it's a bit tough because once you deployed the crate, you can't move it. But you can put the RPGs directly into the actual vehicle itself as well. So you can jump out, shoot an RPG off, jump back in and just drive away, and then you've got like extra ammo in here because usually when you start, you have like a two. The second bag is it's two 1x3s, and then it's like a 1x2 at the top. So you can put something in here, like a spotting device or whatever, and then you can put two RPGs in here and one in the actual RPG. But that means that you have like literally 3 shots total, which is a real bummer. Whereas you think you could put 12 in the Kodiak at least, the little Jeep, the like SUV thing. Ural not as many. I think you put 6 in the Ural, but you can put 12 in the Kodiak. Am I about to die to a PMC? That must be a scav, right? Is that a scav? I found the game to be camper central, especially on Sunday. Well, I think the main thing is you do have to. He's a scavenger. He's got trainers on. You have to utilize. I feel like you have to strongly utilize the spotting mechanics to try to get people to go and actually, like, you know, kill the. Wait, was it in there? To like kill the snipers. So sometimes it's better not being a sniper and actually just like spotting people. I pretty much brought the recon binoculars on every kit at the end. Because you can get marksman XP for free just by spotting people, and it also helps you. Even if you're using an assault rifle or something, you basically get like free minimap on those guys, even if you're fighting them yourself, which is so interesting. Okay, that was... Which was that one? That's PMC personnel files. So we want to go back across to here. We don't have a great deal of time. Maybe go. Maybe we do go up to Mares while we talk about WARDOGS. Yeah, so it's genuinely so funny being able to make like an AA out in the middle of nowhere, because the whole thing's like rock paper scissors, right? Because like they then have to go and deal with you. I had a guy who, like, he turned back up. I mean, this probably was a not very good strategy. He tried to use a minigun Little Bird to try and kill an AA SAM site, which was just like, yeah, you just get shot down, mate. And then he turned up in a Jeep, a little buggy, and did a quad bike, and did actually kill me in the end. Only because I messed up, but even still, he did manage to dislodge me. I ended up just running around with defibs and no weapons. Just pretending to be... and get res enemies as well for fun. I never actually unlocked the defib. I think I probably should have used the SMGs more. I was so focused on assault rifling that I ended up not really leveling up medic particularly. And I was doing lots of shenanigans too. I was like looking at trying to get up to the recon and a few other things, get support up. What's your current favourite gun? In Tarkov or in WARDOGS? In Tarkov, it's probably the M4. I genuinely think the M4 is probably one of the best guns right now. It's partly because of the ammo availability, and also partly just because of the way it feels. And some handy shirt. I don't know what this. Yeah, this is just a it's just a regular old shirt. Thank you. Type 20 loud is the vibe. I've not played much Type 20. I think I did it once, and I think I got killed. Yeah, where's this one? I think this one's mismarked on the map that I'm using. Should be in here. Oh no, maybe it's not actually. Yeah, Type 20 looks really good, by the way. Type 20 seems insanely good. I haven't done a full breakdown yet. I've been split between so many different things recently that I've actually not been able to put as much time into EFT as I would usually do on a wipe. So I actually need to get back on it a bit. But yes, I do really like the M4. I think the M4 is just so good. It's very powerful and seasonal, I would say. And so much of it is about the, you know, the ammo. Yo, Mitty! What is up, Mitty? Appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. We're basically talking about WARDOGS and doing some Tarkov, but mainly thinking about WARDOGS. Did you played, right? You played, I'm pretty sure. Wait, I think I'm at the wrong house. Am I at the wrong house? Yeah, this is not the red house. It's been a good time. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're having a good time. Everyone's on the the WARDOGS withdrawal symptoms, unfortunately. Very, very, very fun. I haven't played a game that fun in ages. It reminded me of like old Battlefield Bad Company 2. That's kind of the feeling from WARDOGS for me, which is probably the last Battlefield-esque game that I played. Like, that I really, really liked. You know, I played Squad and I enjoyed Squad. It was all right. You know, I played like, you know, maybe no, actually. Maybe 100? Have I played more than 100 hours of Squad? I actually can't remember. But, it's all right. Game's like decent enough. But this game, it just feels different. Where's it? Am I in the wrong place? Is it downstairs or is it in this room? Where is that one? Is that down here? Have I clicked onto the wrong thing? Oh no, it's supposed to be here apparently. I think. No? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong one. This is by the bed. Of course, I'm clicked on the wrong one. Right, 5 minutes. We gotta make sure we follow the timer. Yeah, so once WARDOGS out, I'm dropping everything else. The building was so much fun. The price of everything seems spot on for the most part. No limits to put on you, which is cool. I actually think that maybe... Well, we'll have to see, but I feel like the vehicles might need a bit of balancing past. I was actually very wrong with my prediction of what the vehicles would cost. I was very wrong. I wonder if we have time to get up into... Here, I probably should have gone up the mountain pass, really. 4 minutes. We should just about have time, I think. Yeah, I thought, well, look, if the tank is 500k, I thought, you know, it's going to have to be, you know, probably 40k for the tank, something like that. But the fact that it was 14,000, I was like, ooh, that's much cheaper than I expected. And I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. You know, I think I might need to just go to the exfil. I spent too long wittering away, chatting. But we could probably check the one out here on the chair. And maybe throw them in. Do you have any streaming schedules? Just do it by feel. I usually have a streaming schedule. I have been very bad at keeping to it. Just because... I keep getting busy doing other stuff. I should be able to stick to it a bit more regularly now. Especially during the wipe, I don't have a streaming schedule because I play pretty much every day during the wipe. But then in regular days, I try to play Monday evening, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and Thursday afternoon. But I've had a few things that have got in the way of this. However, as I said, we should be good now, relatively, and I shouldn't be as distracted as I have been by other things here. We just need to go. We just need to go. It's quite a long way. So today it's like I technically should still be streaming now, but I should have streamed earlier. But I streamed slightly later. Yo, Easy Ice, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. I'm just excited about WARDOGS like everyone else, I think. I think it's going to be cool. And that's the thing, I'm probably still going to be playing EFT on stream. And then I'm going to be playing WARDOGS like in the evening with my mates. And then I'll like make some YouTube content out of it, probably that way, I think. WARDOGS keep you busy? That's all good? Yes. But yeah, as I said, I just don't know if I'm going to stream it very much. Just because it doesn't really fit my style of stream. Unless I end up playing with a bunch of other people. But like, I don't really have like a regular, you know, as you guys know, right? I don't have like a regular squad to play with or anything like that. And I'm playing WARDOGS with like my IRL friends, which is, it's fine for recordings, but it's just a bit different. I don't want to like interrupt the vibe, you know, for this. Any chance you do Discord community group for WARDOGS? In what sense? Like I've added a new Discord channel for WARDOGS. So there is actually a dedicated channel in there now. I added that this morning, and I retired some of the old ones. So I retired the Arc Raiders one, and I retired the marathon one as well, because no one's talking in them anymore. Yeah, so you could group together in there, but I'm not going to make it like a new Discord. They'll be part of my one. But people could still use the voice chat channels, they're probably mine. And there's going to be a WARDOGS like discussion board in there. MIA incoming? Ah, be fine. Right, we've got 1.5 minutes to get to the little boat. Assuming I have the boat, I didn't really check. Hideout and liner stage? That's the one, right? It's like right here. I don't think I could go in to check for the document, though. I don't think. Well, maybe I can. We're like right here, aren't we? So it should be fine. Maybe. Oh, I've only got like 50 seconds to run in, go upstairs, and then run back out. Scav? Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing Scav. I'm not on document hunting otherwise. Particularly. I can, but you know, it's just not as good. Right, where is it? It's supposed to be like over here. There's one. And then there's one on this bookshelf, but I don't think it's there. Okay, cool. Right, we should be okay. Hopefully I haven't cut it too fine. Yeah, you won't catch me on PM3 on this map unless something drastic's happened, because they're not, they're going to do the Lighthouse rework, and then hopefully it's going to be a lot better. I don't know whether it will be or not, but hopefully it's going to be a lot better. It may be months and months before I decide to give WARDOGS a try, but I really enjoy having recent drops of souvenirs when I do. Hey, Pharaoh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Also evening. I like it because all of the games with vehicles are expensive, so you never get to use them. And the thing is, helis, yeah, they are cheap. They're also easy to shoot down, and it's fun. Yeah, I think it's good to make the helis cheap, because the helis are like integral to the whole experience on WARDOGS. It's like, it's really important that the helis are there, because if they made them too expensive, it would be really, really lame. Because it means that the pinning doesn't work in this. You have to do it manually. It means that you then like penalize the actual transport mechanism for people to get in. So I think that would actually be really, really ruthless if they'd done that. Holding out for Lighthouse rework, me too. Oh, how come you're holding off? I wouldn't hold off if you can help it. I think WARDOGS is going to be... It's one of those games where if you leave it 6 months, you risk not getting the most enjoyment out of the initial section of the game. I understand if you're busy, then that's fair enough. That's like a completely different thing. But if you can help it, I personally think playing it earlier is better. I would think. So yeah, we were using the Tuck 20 in the last one. I can't remember what we were doing. This is just when we were testing random stamina stuff, weren't we? But I'm not going to do that anymore. Not today. What I did want to do is I wanted to carry on with these. I wanted to do this ref one. This plant the TNT bricks, because I want to map out what actually happens with Theta, because I want to have the footage. I want to make a video about it, but I don't think it's that complicated, really. Seen the new 32 rounders? Yeah, they're cool. If you pin an item in the case, does it not use it for hideout crafting, for example? Pinning still uses it. It's only locking that doesn't let it use it. So if you lock it, it blocks it completely, like that. Whereas if you pin it, it just keeps it so that it can't move, is the difference. Keep in mind you can sell any durability pack first for guaranteed 35k. Yes, I should have done that. I just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I think with enough counters, I think the tanks might be okay in WARDOGS, but we'll have to see. We'll honestly have to see. Yeah, so we've got to take some TNT bricks and plant them in here. Oh, one thing actually, before we did that, there was one thing I wanted to look at, which was this. This was from the NVIDIA GeForce On community update thing. They were doing like some stream. And they were talking about this.
Images more accurately with improved DLSS, stability and anti-aliasing.
They had an update.
We said that it would be available in August, and oh hey, that's now. DLSS 4.5 ray reconstruction is currently available through NVIDIA app overrides and native
where is
integrations.
It's right here. I was just about to watch this earlier.
With fragmentary order,
which, by the way, so anybody who's not been keeping up, obviously Frago is like it's StarKov, as Nice Guy dubbed it. The TARKOV in space kind of thing, and there's a new teaser, so I wanted to watch this. I saw that it was on. I actually wanted to be on at 4 beforehand so we could like watch this live, but then I thought like probably the rest of it we weren't going to be that interested in, so I want to see what they have to say. I haven't actually watched this yet.
First ever look at Rank Gaming's realistic hardcore tactical sci-fi FPS, which is launching with DLSS 4.5.
I hope this game's going to be sick, honestly. I want it to be good.
It sure has been a busy year for GeForce Ed gaming shows from all over the world, including shows in the US.
Is that everything?
The iconic Jensen also ship anniversary contest. There was a lot by celebrating about these awesome trailers.
Oh, I guess that's it. There's just that teaser. But that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I think, let me see if they've actually put anything up there as well. I think there were some screenshots as well. Have a look. As yeah, because I'm still playing like the ARG thing for this because I don't know exactly what is. Oh, maybe not actually. So they said first look at Fragmentary Order. Being built in Unreal 5 in partnership with NVIDIA. For those waiting for more, a full gameplay deep dive is coming later this September. Sweet. Okay. I mean, I think the game could be really good. It sort of depends on what happens with it. I mean, whether it will have the same pull as EFT, I don't know. I'm the most things that I'm most interested in is less about like the sort of the FPS game, because you know FPS games, yeah, dime a dozen. But it's like WARDOGS is exactly this principle, which is that it's all about like the structure of the game and like the meta game and like what's going to happen around the game. You know, that's going to be the most important part about everything. So I'm excited about that. I'm interested to see exactly what happens with it. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. Right, let's go and grab these TNTs and see if we can get onto the next stage of ref. I don't know what else. I think can you buy the Overseer key? You can. They're cheap. Okay, well, we'll just buy one now just in case. In case I forget to take one at some point in the future. Alrighty, okay, so let's go to Ground Zero. Now you have to post these somewhere. Oh yeah, I also remembered, by the way, that I got some like random stuff. So we've got like the Black Division cases, compensation for keeping scouts in protection. So that's the street text one. Was it worth it? I don't know. Got these a second time for some reason. So the hot rod plus these like random cases and the money one. Got these like twice. This came in like today. And then I think everybody got given their purple case now. Finally. It's probably because everybody complained, so they did actually push it. And then what's this one? I don't know. Forged in beta. This is the some random armband. There we go. So yeah, it's got some random stuff. This is good though, because this will allow us to put... I've actually got loads of things, and I should probably start counting them at this point. Like what exactly I have. Or don't have. Axle. Oh, didn't go in there. It went somewhere else. I don't even know where it went. Did it just go straight back into the same box? Oh, it went down there. And then the egg, the Lupo, the Raven, Airwing, bee, rat poison. What was that box? What's this box? Badge, fire steel, beard oil. I mean, it's useful to have this if if you're going to get cap at some point, which like I probably should just collect all the items and do it, given it's so easy now, relatively speaking. Still have to do shootable and stuff. Whether I can be bothered to do that or not is another question, but we'll see. Timothy, insect, nice guy pass, T. So Giga, did you enjoy the WARDOGS this weekend? I enjoyed the WARDOGS so much. It was so good. It was so good. Guys, it was so good. Red body armor. Do I have that around somewhere? Have we liking the top 20? It's decent. It's really decent. Let me grab it. Maybe it's just in my inventory. I think it was too big for me to put in anything. Locked bottom left. I'll grab it in a sec. Oh, WARDOGS is so much fun. So much fun. It was so good. I put 28 hours into WARDOGS in 2 days. Sunday I didn't get to play but one match. Kind of same here, actually. I played a lot in the evening and in the night with a bunch of friends, and it was great. It was a great time. Genuinely a great time. I saw that bought out all the fuel. Gosh damn, it's expensive. Yeah, it was super fun. It's this one. Oh, marked key, baby! Look at that. It's just 5 SSD. Oh no, that wasn't even 5 SSD. That was Access G28, I think. Dreamer loot. Damn right. Damn right. We'll do the rest of this while we're here. Fleeces. But yeah, man, WARDOGS are so good. I just spent like the beginning of the stream just talking about how good it was, and about like the various strategies and like the way that the sandbox is just so good for, you know, coming up with like random things and playing outside the box. But the fact that a lot of stuff is like counterable as well. So at the beginning, so I would say actually as well, it's like, okay, you go to the hot zone and then you win. And then it's like, oh, you need to collect the tower codes to do the drill so that you can bring that over. So it's like, okay, but the towers are like really difficult to capture like the code out of all of them because people are just building these like mega bases by them. So that makes it quite difficult. It's like, okay, well, actually you can just build your own drill, which is insane. And I was like, okay, this is just like crazy game winning. And like I won like a bunch of games just by building a drill in base and just like bringing the hot zone to us every single time, and it was just like mind-blowingly powerful. But then people started unlocking artillery, and so it was like, oh, now every time I get back to the base, like everything's destroyed. And so that's not really working anymore. So now what do we need to do? Now we need to either like hunt the arty or, you know, go after helicopters or whatever else. It's just like the things seem to keep kind of, yeah. The game sort of develops, you know, and like artillery is strong, but you can go hunting for it. Like we were hunting, various people killed a self-propelled gun with like two lads and an RPG, which is fantastic. There's just, yeah, it's just a lot to it. Imbalanced teams really killed a few WARDOGS games. I hope they'll able to get a handle on that. Multiple games go like 100, 4, 5. Oh really? I didn't think I had any that were that bad. Sometimes I was on a team where our team just wouldn't do very well in general, and the other two teams did okay. But broadly speaking, I would say it was not that bad. So which one am I doing? Right, let's actually play. Create a distraction. And this is the it's in the cafe somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where. You have to go upstairs. Yeah, you have to go upstairs. I was pretty sure I knew where it was broadly, but I don't really like Ground Zero, but gotta play it. Crazy to think that it took until now a developer to turn that concept into a game, given that the game mode in Arma 3 is about 10 years old at this point. It's almost exactly the same. I think the problem is that it's quite hard because it's like without the framework of Arma 3, like how do you make it work, right? Because you need like all the weapons, you need all the the mechanics for it, which I guess are not that hard, but then you need the ability to do all the networking, you need like the anti-cheat stuff for it, you need all of the vehicles, there's quite a lot of stuff. Like there's not that many games, like you couldn't do that in EFT, for example, because the vehicles aren't there. So it's like it's not that easy, even if you've got like a baseline for other things. I don't know. I think it's quite a complicated experience. Hey, is there an tier list for 1.0 or 1.1? I haven't played in a minute. Definitely one for 1.0. It's broadly the same. It's a bit tricky now because the armor's changed a bit. There's like a lot of the class 5s plus you can't buy. This version is like, you know, class 4 the game, I think, at this stage. But we had one that went 101-0. That's insane. We built a fob near the apartments, 30-foot walls and 5 drills. The drills each have their own cooldown. I just became a repairman and medic to counter the mortar shells incoming. You can build on top of the apartments and then wall around them. Yeah, it's mental. It's like genuinely mental. So what did you do? You put like Hesco around the edge. Can you put drill on top of the apartments? Or you're on the ground? Because then you could put, yeah, that would make sense to put drill up there. I would assume that I would have thought they coded for that. But you could put like a SAM site on top of a building. We were on the ground. Okay. Did you use the apartments as like one wall or something? Oh, this is a particularly crappy spawn, I think. Maybe, you know, I might just sit in the cafe for a minute. I need to go just over there, but super dangerous just to start here. I'm like in the middle of all the spawns. It's kind of horrible. But we can, at least we can check for documents and stuff. Pop this away, tuck this away in the docks, guys. Said, screw the towers, they're a hassle, so we just made our own base. I actually think that's the right play. I thought at the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, you know, people are building by the fob, people are building the fobs at the towers. But I actually agree with you. I don't think that's the right way. Because if you build, the beauty of the fob, as I have come to realise, I know that the drill, you can build literally anywhere. Sorry, in the control, the drill has to be in the control zone, but you can build the fob literally anywhere. So you can build the fob like outside of the circle, right at the edge, and build the drill. What is this drill? So, so that well, I think I closed it. Did I close it now? I should keep this up actually as my very basic diagram. Oops. No, yeah. Paint's too complex for its own good these days. So you've got your control zone, and inside the control zone you have the hot zone. So typically speaking, you'll have green guys in this bit, usually, blue guys in this bit, usually, and red guys in this bit, usually, normally, right? And so it depends on, I mean, obviously it depends on the gameplay, right? The game state. But the hot zone will like meander its way around and, you know, put it down and go over here, over here, over here. Now it depends on the map. There's a bunch of towers and then labeled like 1 to 4 to 5, so 4 or 5. And if there's a code in each one of the towers, and if you can get the code for each one and input it into this like thing, then what it does is it brings the hot zone towards your tower, and it will just sit over the top of it. But in the buildings, there's a thing you can make called the drill, and if you build the drill and then fuel it up, it does the same thing. So it draws the hot zone onto your fob, well, onto the drill at least, and just sits there on it. So if you bring it over where all your team are, it makes it much, much easier to win. And you can build as many of these things as you like. Now, they're countered by artillery, because artillery can sit outside the zone. You know, you can have, like, you can have arty that sits, like, out here, and they can just bombard you. If the team figures out where they are, and once you've used the drill once, obviously you know where it is, right? Because, like, you can see it right there. So you have, like, a bunch of arty shooting in, and you can blow the drills up. And having to build it once and then make it again is actually a bit of an annoyance. Drill takes a couple of minutes to build, with 2 people hitting on it, by the way, but I fully understand why. Absolutely. But if you could protect it against the artillery, so if they start firing in, and then you guys send helicopters in to either, like, parachute people off to go and kill the SPGs, or just use, like, the ones with rockets and, like, destroy them, then the drill just keeps on, you know, you can keep refueling it, and there's a cooldown. I don't actually know what the cooldown is. I should go and check. Then yeah, you can just keep using the drill and bring the hot zone to you. And the hot zone is effectively one of the ways that you win. So it's quite interesting. But yeah, it's kind of rock, paper, scissors-y. Blue seems at a pretty systematic disadvantage. Yes, I think on some of the maps it's okay, but other maps they sit here, right? And so you can see this area is empty. So typically speaking, green will be fighting blue this way, red will be fighting blue this way, and green and red will be blue will be fighting green and red like this way and this way. So the maps definitely need to be more like, well, they need to be more like this. I definitely felt that there was the map being more like this is definitely like anti-blue. Blue team was like became the meme as being like the one that always loses. But if it's this format, then there's no wonder, right? Because this is much fairer. But I always feel like the north section of the map, you can't really get through on most of the maps. So you're kind of blocked off. Some of them are fairer than others, but they really need to fix this. I think you might have BD in raid. Oh, we'll see. Cooldown is several minutes, but with multiple drills, you kept the hot zone on us 90% of the time. Yeah, so if you build more than one drill, which you can do, and you can build them all next to each other, they all take their own fuel. But if you do, you can just keep the hot zone. Just it'll move over, and then it'll just be sat permanently on your fobs out here. So I mean, that's like that. I think that's like Warzone, like macro game stage level 1, which is build drills and have your team sit in them and protect them in a light fortification. Then obviously the counter to that is either your whole sort of area coming under attack in general by either people parachuting into your actual base, which is kind of hard to do, tanks coming and blowing up the walls or getting in that way and like blowing up your stuff. I mean, the main one was artillery. As I say, the main one was artillery. If you build artillery over here, and you build a couple of them, or buy a couple of them, you can just like smash it. The whole game reminds me of an RTS. Blue's easy to see by a wide margin. True. Green was actually amazing. The green had like the green camo. They had kind of like an insurgency look to them, but they were also like had like really cool camo as well. You know, the game is green fundamentally, which is pretty insane. I love story time with Giga. Yeah. Why do you have TNT in your gamma? Oh, we're trying to do this task because this one, plant the bricks. Thank you, Beef. Your tutorial video helped me a lot when I was a newbie. No worries. So is WARDOGS like an Armor pub server clone? It's a clone of Armor King of the Hill. I've not played Armor King of the Hill, but apparently it's a clone of Armor King of the Hill. But like less janky as its own game mode. I don't know genuinely what the differences are. A lot of people have just said it's very Armor King of the Hill. How did like what? I really enjoyed creeping and slowly clearing villages along with the circle. Fob sitting match was very frustrating to me. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Once things unlock a bit, the game will change. Face of utter disgust. Well, I saw the economy in WARDOGS borders on a joke at the moment. In what sense? Fully kitted out MT cost less than inf kit? Well, we were just having this conversation before. I actually think that the vehicles probably should be more expensive, but we will see, because I don't know fully how the counters to that are going to work yet. Because apparently, because you can play like an anti-tank UAV drone, like FPV drone. And apparently, I couldn't use them, but supposedly I was using them wrong. Seriously, I don't understand how this didn't kill this guy, but this is M855A1 as well, by the way. Not that you can see because of my camera, but yeah, apparently you could use these FPV drones to blow tanks up. So depending on how easy it is to kill them is going to depend on... That's going to change like how the economy runs, right? But the beautiful thing about this game is that because everything costs... Like in a game, in other games of this type, these vehicles just kind of respawn, and only a few people get to use them. Whereas in WARDOGS, like you use whatever you want because you paid for it, right? Which is awesome. It's like an awesome model. And so if things are too expensive, or sorry, if things are too powerful, they can just make them more expensive. Which is a great way to be. I think it's a great place for the game to be in because they have lots of levers to pull. I thought originally, I was like, man, this is going to be impossible for them to balance because the game's so complicated and there's so many systems that they want to introduce. But actually, although it will actually still probably be quite hard to balance. He's getting blasted by scavs. Is he still getting blasted? Pretty funny. Let's see if I can get out. I've got to get quite far along here, which is annoying. Oh, for God's sake. there's actually a load of scavs here. This is not good. Need to stop this guy shooting at me from behind. I did not leap forwards. You can tell I've not been playing over the last couple of days, right? At least we've been playing FPS games. At least there's that. I'm just stand here and have a drink for a second. Yeah, 5k USD drone, 2-hit MBT. RPG cost several times that. Did nothing to MBT. I took out a MBT on my own with RPGs, but I wouldn't say it was easy. To be honest with you, it took like 4 shots or something. You do need more people with RPGs. I do think the tank is a bit cheap at 14,000. I agree with you. I think it's too cheap. I do actually think it's too cheap. When we do best level 3 trade builds, when I can get to level 3 traders, I can't get Jaeger up because I just can't find any of the bosses and or kill them first before somebody else. So it's just going to have to wait. Something weird's happened to this. Military games always attract the worst crowd. True. Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, like it's I think the game's super fun, but yeah, I don't know whether it's all going to be balanced yet. But like, this is the thing, in 3 days, so it's all going to get wiped again for like the 3rd time. So in that 30 hours, so I managed to unlock the tank myself, and it did seem kind of broken in terms of how powerful it was for how much it cost. I thought, so it was 500k to unlock it. I thought it was going to be 40k just to play it, and it was 14k, which was like significantly cheaper than I expected it to be. So I'm expecting it at some point to be more expensive. I think it should be at least 25,000. Because it's so easy to get kills in it. But then again, you know, we don't necessarily have all of the tools to deal with these things yet, because it's a bit like on day 1, right? Like the fobs are like really, really powerful with the drill, because all you've got to do is get to level 7 support. It's almost like a Tarkov wipe in some sense, because you've got to like do certain things to get to a certain level, and if people don't have the things to counter it, then it makes it, you know, people who've got there first, it makes them very, very powerful. So yeah, it's like, yeah, if you have like the thing early, so you get to level 7 support, and you can then build the fob with the drill in it to bring the hot zone to you, and they don't have artillery, and they also don't have mortars, then it's going to make it very difficult for them. But then as soon as people start unlocking artillery and mortars, then it makes it very difficult. And it makes it very difficult for you. You know? What's this guy up to? Not a great deal, unfortunately. Maybe we go down and round. Also, people figuring cash maxing, so they've got millions by the end of it, we can tons of stuff. The thing is, though, it's not everybody by a long way, I would say. It's definitely not everybody. There's like there's a small number of people who are going to cash max, and there's some people who are like super good at FPS and stuff in general who are just going to like dominate the sniper, for example, and have a lot of money. But it's definitely not everybody. I would say, like, again, it's a bit like Tarkov wipe, right? Like you see certain people doing insanely well with all the stuff, and you think like, man, the game's over. And then you go into an actual raid, and there's like, most people still don't even have the they don't even have the hammer to be able to do like support stuff. You know what I mean? So it really depends. But we're gonna have to see how the economy goes. We'll have to see how it flows down. And I don't know what the ultimate end game meta is actually going to be yet, because people haven't actually unlocked all the things that they need to unlock. in order to counter everything. So like I just got to the tank, but there's loads of other vehicles. There's like bigger tanks later on. So maybe, you know, the big heavy tanks counter the lighter tanks. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And I think there was like a surface missile launcher that hadn't been unlocked as well. I hadn't seen. And there's like all sorts of devices and all sorts of things. Like, I don't recall having to kill bosses for Jaeger 3. Is that a true believer thing? I mean, I guess I could technically use the Polykim cards to do Dragnet, but it costs more than my bank balance to buy one off the flea. Tactical nuke, 70 mil. But it's going to have wipes. It's going to wipe like EFT in many ways. So there's going to be that like progressional. It's funny actually. You can almost think of like the actual like a season of. I don't know how long they're gonna make them, but like a season of WARDOGS is a little bit like an RTS game in some ways, because the unlocks and the tech tree kind of unlock throughout that season, and then people reset, right? Oh, not slow Jiwi. Not slow Jiwi. And so the counters kind of as people get to them, you know, it's what people are actually going to do in the games is going to change. And I hope it doesn't like just stagnate into one thing. It's where you need to shoot from one spawn to spawn. Yeah, I don't know. But there's so many cool things to get out of the game. Absolutely. Miss WARDOGS. Can you remove the word for the title? I'm getting sad. But with it, we could talk about it endlessly. That's also nice, right? We got that dog in us, my friends. Bulkhead have got that dog in them. Well, they're like 2 hours for me. I'd love to go see them. It'd be sick to go see them. Anyway, what were we talking about Jaeger 3? Yeah, so I can't get to Jaeger 3 without killing at least one of the bosses. And I tried like 2 days in a row to find the bosses. And finding them is really annoying. And I just gave up because I couldn't be bothered anymore. We'll find them. We'll find one of them when we find them, you know. I've got Kollontai, Kaban, Rashala, Sturman. Anyone else? I'm not sure. Don't know who that was. Kind of curious about WARDOGS. The no persistence thing is what ruins games like Squad for me. It's so good. I want to get home in 2 days and pick up where I left off, not start a new game. So like each game is its own game, but like winning or losing the game is only a small part of like your whole progression, which is what's so good about it. And then it means that you're not just like, the thing that I hate about Squad is like how top down it is, and I know that's the point. But if you're just playing like random pubs, you'll just have like all very authoritative people who always play squad leader, etc., just like telling you what to do the whole time. And you don't always want to do that, you know? You don't necessarily always want that. Right, well, while we're here, should we try and farm some documents on PMC? We could do that. Let me remind myself where they all are. So I guess we could go down to the bottom. We could just do like one sweep through the whole map. We may end up fighting a lot of scavs this way, but we'll see. No, so it was seriously good. Seriously good fun. I enjoyed it greatly. I've got loads of footage, I've got loads of clips, and I intend to make a couple of videos over the next 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, about WARDOGS. I don't know exactly how I'm going to cut it yet. I might talk about... the one I'm definitely going to do is about... basically just like shenanigans strategies that you can try, because that was what really opened the game to me and showed me that the WARDOGS is a little bit different, just because of like the way that the sandbox works and allows you to do like random stuff, which is super fun. As I was saying, like going behind enemy lines, like building actual like installations to like shoot down helicopters on their way out of their base. That's what reminded me so much of an RTS though. It reminds me like you're basically playing Command and Conquer Generals in first person as like some of the units. So me and Joe in chat, we like went around in basically a technical with RPG rockets, and when to like blast, like shoot their supply line, you know, because to build fob stuff in the main area of like any consequence, you've got to be bringing supply in all the time from the main base. So if you turn up with like 2 dudes with RPGs, you can just take the Ural out, and that really screws them up because there's only so many roads they can go down. There's also like random stuff, like I chased these 2 dudes down the road. My vehicle was smoking, so I actually didn't see that they'd stopped, and I crashed into the back of them. I had an RPG and I was going to kill them with it. This is in Skoda Kodiaks, both of us, and I was going to wait. What's my exfil? It's Nakatani anyway. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it's not there. We were both in Skoda Kodiaks, and I got killed by them. But the reason why they stopped on the bridge, because it was like way outside the combat zone. It was between their base and the combat zone. The reason why they stopped in the... Oh, yeah, there's another one here, isn't there? The reason why they stopped in the first place was because somebody had tank trapped their bridge. And I was like, oh, that's actually genius. That's like genuinely genius. By a blue car, apparently. I was like, that's genuinely genius. Like the bridge itself, you can like tank trap the bridge, because I think you can build tank traps without a fob. CNC, I said CNC generals, but yeah, I know Renegade, but it feels like, kind of feels like, it's because of the technicals and the GLA, right? That's why. It's like proper insurgency stuff, like crazy fun. On the floor near the black car, let's go see this. You set up MGNS pointing at the supply lines like in Armor. Yeah. This is the thing, it's Armor King of the Hill, but not janky. Because it's a standalone game. There's not Armor. When people say, where is it? Oh, it's this thing. Gosh, that is hard to see, the fact that it's in between all of the other junk. God. That is annoying, isn't it? Hard to see even when you know where it freaking is. Right, then we got the... Oh, here. GLA with the goats. It was such an interesting RTS mechanic. Genuinely so cool. At the moment, Ruby's announced open beta on the 3rd that runs up to early access. I think that's going to happen. There's some serious shenanigans going on. Serious shenanigans. Look at this, for example. Look at this one. Joe, I need to know. I'm taking a few days off work for release. Do I keep the days off for 9/10, the release date, September 10th of September, or do I move them up for the game show on 9/3? Both, he says. And then, what's the other guy called? Basically, they keep teasing. I need to get on, otherwise I'm not going to end up exiting this raid. They keep teasing that something's happening on the 3rd. So the deal with the 3rd, right, is they are running a show called the FPS Game Show, and it's their own show. So they've set this show up. So there's something happening. There's basically shenanigans. There's shenanigans are going on. Shenanigans are going on, for sure. These guys, when they say it's releasing on the 9th, don't trust them. I might make a video about that, actually, saying do not trust Bulkhead for WARDOGS. But then it's going to be like the reverso switch it, you know, it's full-on clickbait, because it's like, why don't we trust them? Because they're going to release it early. We know they are. They're going to release it early. Or at least go into early access, beta test, whatever. Maybe they do one more beta test with another reset. Thing is, I wouldn't mind. Us TARKOV people, we've been training for this our entire lives, right? Multiple beta tests with like multiple wipes where we slowly get better and better at the progression cycle each time. Like, dude, this is our bread and butter. Will the shenanigans include shot collars? He knew his days were numbered. They're with bank, they are. Need to make sure that we don't stay too long. Lovely of him to give me a CSA. That's a fantastic piece of happenstance there. Right, so I can't remember where they were supposed to be. They're like in here somewhere. Some of them are easier to see than others. There's one with like double desks now. So there's one. Oh, don't be like that. Yeah, miserable scav. Everyone on the sofa. Macaroni. No, the macaroni. There's one in like a cabinet somewhere, I'm pretty sure. I don't have time to actually like look at the document properly now. I'm gonna run out of time otherwise. People are probably gonna be shouting at me for missing them. There's one in like a file folder. There's like one in there, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, now we do just have to go. Has anybody used the flare? No, technically. Not flare, sorry. Okay, we'll golden star up and then we'll back the way out. How are there no PMCs in your raid? Because we talked about WARDOGS for the first like 5 minutes. So like everybody leaves, right? We're like right at the end of the raid. We spent the rest of the time just talking. Makes it much more chill when you're like at the end of the raid. Oh, we could just leave out of the out of the car. Wait, oh no! Wait, he was waiting there. Oh no, I didn't check. Oh, good guy was down bad. That's oh dear. That was not what I expected to go down there. That was just like really unfortunate. I was like, hey, this guy's camping, and then it's just like, hey, this guy actually isn't camping. It's just really unfortunate for him. Has he got anything in this? No, it's just +4. Right, we need to go. I might actually be too late here. I might have spent too long looting him. Let's see. Go! Come on! We can make it right. It was 1 minute for getting to the corner of the map. Like, surely it's fine. Surely it's fine. Oh no. Yes, it's small and easy to get to extract. That's why I wasn't remotely worried, but then I did get kind of concerned slightly. Okay, well that was an unexpected end. I did not expect that to happen. That was very random. I didn't see when I looked at the car exfil, I didn't see that it was like in use. Maybe it was. I don't actually know. If he hadn't tried killing you, you'd probably just leave. Yeah, actually. This guy's telling chat how slow the end of the race could be and why he waited. I mean, we only saw Mr. MP5 there, didn't we? Nobody particularly geared. And it was a really scuffed encounter. SJ6 might have been clutch. It's why the injector case is so good. It's why I really wanted to go for it in the first place. Injector case is awesome. This isn't me, I'll be rubber banding back because I was trying to make it. Fever dream where you try to run, but you just don't go anywhere. Is that my only SJ6? When can you buy SJ6 anyway? Some of them are really high level. Oh no, I can buy them. Oh, Black Division tag. Okay, I don't have this one. Fine. For cash, it's completely worth it. SJ6. There it goes. Cool. Well, I mean, that was definitely worth. Right, let's just hand this into Ref and see what we get next. So we get Creative Distraction Part 2. Oh, do we have to do this, though? Oh, no, it's this one. Against the Conscience. Locate the old champions room. So we have to go to dorms. I don't know why he gives us that garbage. Let's sell that junk. I actually have a lot of helmets. I might sell this though. Someone will buy it, but it's definitely not worth. It's definitely not worth that. Where do you get the injector case? Now the one behind Chemical Part 4 doesn't award you one. It is the Thirsty questline. That is now where you get it. Yeah, I want to make a few videos about... Oh, this MDR. Although he gave us some crap ammo, this actually does have 5501 in it, which is quite nice. Yeah, although... I do kind of want to make a few videos, or one... I'm not sure whether I make like one video or a few videos. I don't know if it justifies making multiple videos. Like how to get the injector case. Is that one video? Is that like how to get the injector case, how you get... Because I have a list of them, basically like injector case, Theta, M80, the QBZ, a Hauer, M855A1. Because there's a lot of people that don't know. I could look it up and we could just, you know, figure it out like right now, what we need. Because I know some of them are behind like the guide and stuff like that, but... One thing equals one video. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Theta container one, because people are asking me a lot about progress in arena. I think it's different on seasonal, so people are asking me that a lot. It does also make it easier to find. If somebody wants to find a thing about like the injector case, it's easier for me to make a video about that specifically, because then people can like, at least they know what they are going to be watching when they click it. So there is that advantage. How is WARDOGS to a TARKOV player? I mean, it's completely unlike TARKOV, but it reminds me so much of the old days playing Battlefield Bad Company. It was so good. So I don't know. I would say like my TARKOV experience doesn't really come into it. It's like my historic experience with Bad Company, really. That's what it reminded me most of. I've never played Armor though. But like, yeah, outside of Armor, obviously, which is apparently where the game mode stemmed from. You know, it's one of those things where I don't think anything else is really that comparable. Sounds nice. Yeah, it was just good fun. It was like very freeform. That's the thing that I liked so much about it. I'm actually going to be putting out some more videos about it, explaining like some of the cool strategy you can do, why the game felt so freestyle, why I enjoyed it so much. I've been playing it with my old buddies. We used to play Battlefield back in the day, like Battlefield Bad Company and whatever else. And this is the first time in ages that I've been like, yeah, we should all jump on and this game's going to be amazing. Like I recommended people to buy Arc Raiders, and we played that together, and that was good. It was fun, and we enjoyed ourselves. You know, because they're a bit more casual about extraction shooters these days. My IRL friends, no one has time to be grinding up like crazy stuff like in EFT. So it's only me that plays Tarkov now, but when I played, like, I knew we'd enjoy Ark because it was a good vibe and, you know, fun times, and a good progression to it and whatnot. But when I picked up WARDOGS, I was like, holy guys, you need to play this. You actually need to play this. Like this, it feels like the games we used to play. It feels like Bad Company 2, which was probably my favorite FPS of all time, I would say. Probably. At least like sort of team-based game. Bad Company was sick back in the day. It was so good. Bad Company was so good because it didn't take itself too seriously and let you do funny stuff. Like some of these games either just became like either too serious in many ways, or they became too like dopey. That's kind of how things went, you know, overall. But Bad Company was just like it was just like fun, but in like a, and also in a kind of silly way. But yeah, it was just crazy. It was just a crazy game. So good. So good. We all loved it back in the day. We played so much of it. It was epic. It was epic. But this game, it made me feel like we were playing Bad Company again. I was like, man, this has got the old style feel, which I think is what they're going for. I think it's what Bulkhead are going for. Because those guys, I think, are all like, you know, mid-30s to mid-40s, you know, millennial style gamers. We all played those games back in the day, and the modern games don't really scratch that itch, you know. And you see people playing these custom games on Arma and whatever else, and it's like there's a reason why there's a certain demographic of people that gravitate towards these game modes as opposed to playing, you know, the modern Battlefield or COD titles, because we feel really underserved. So they've just picked that up and done it themselves. I mean, there's a whole trend of games that are being picked up out of mods of other games. I mean, obviously that's been going on for a long time, but just in general, you know, it's like, can't you add? Oh, level 35. Oh, not level 35 yet. BT. Yeah, but I think like this is another data point in that category of, yeah, you know, you can pick up a good idea for a game just looking at what people are making in like either the modding community or the custom games community or whatever else, and then flesh out a whole game based on it. I mean, I went to a LAN party recently with this same group actually, and we played Mecha Chameleon there, and that was a game that I'd not played before, and that's effectively, it's like a spin on Prop Hunt. You know, we played a lot of Prop Hunt on Counter-Strike, like mini games, you know, custom community servers doing that. You know, I almost forgot about my allergies, actually. I nearly ate that Kanatichonk in the previous game. Why does Arc Raiders die so fast? Do you play it right? Yeah. I think it's because there's a big difference between kind of like... Okay, let's put it this way. Fundamentally, it's very, very hard to keep a game going for, I would say, somewhere between 100 and 150 hours, unless there's something very compelling about the reason to do so. There's so much choice these days, it's really tough to expect people to put more than that into an individual game, unless there's something like really has like real longevity to it. And I think with Ark, I think the mistake maybe that they made, I don't even know if it's necessarily a mistake, but it's just the way that the game's structured, and then to structure it around effectively wipes. It was an interesting idea with the expedition, but I don't think it was I don't think it's interesting enough to repeat the game loop and all the progression again from zero after the expedition. I don't know what they could have done really, but the first expedition like killed my motivation to play anymore, honestly. They did have a good audio Battlefield, yeah. You do have to be older to enjoy the WARDOGS pacing, for sure. And I think there's a big overlap with the Tarkov community because of like waiting times for getting into raid and, you know, the friction that only certain people actually, you know, it'll make sense. Used to play loads of Arma 2, Life, and King of the Hill. Good memories. Any news regarding private servers? I've read back to Arma 3 back in the day. I think they've got community servers coming there, but I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. I would have been really excited for WARDOGS once upon a time, but I can't seem to care now. I think I've aged out of PvP games. I mean, it is really fun. You should at least give it a try, or at least have a look and give it a go, because it is fun. Because you can play all sorts of. I like the fact that you can do. It's the usual big mil sim game style, but with the extra added overlay of like you feel like rather just being the logi person where you win the game. And you were really instructive with the logi. It's like you're making money doing logistics, and you're making money doing heli runs, moving people in and out of the thing. So you feel like you feel more rewarded than normal. Doesn't have to just be like an RP like Arma / squad game where you have to like, you know, really be invested in like driving the lorry. You could just like do it to make some money, which is quite handy. It's good to have that extra incentive over the top, which is quite nice. Yep, Tarkov came from DayZ, which came from Arma. I don't know if Tarkov came from DayZ. Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Because PUBG and Tarkov both kind of spawned out of DayZ broadly. Genre-wise, yes. It's because Bulkhead handled Battalion 1974, and that was absolutely butchered. I think that was a long time ago though, and the game just like wasn't very good. I don't think. Whereas this game is what I would say is that if you're worried about like the game suddenly being bad, like this game is gonna it's quite clear at this point that this game is going to be an enormous commercial success out of the gate, a bit like Ark. So if you saw Ark and I don't know, didn't get your money out of it despite playing from the beginning, then maybe don't play this one. If I play it and I'm going to get all the fun out of it that I need. Because this is, for me, WARDOGS is more a game for fun about me than it is about like content really. But I'll make some content about it because I'm enjoying it. But I'm going to get a ton of fun out of it. I'm probably going to get 100 hours at least, to 150 hours. And then if they don't do anything and nothing happens and the game falls by the wayside, that's fine. I don't mind. It's okay. That's okay for me, you know? Like, I don't know. The game doesn't need to... Games don't... We hold games to a very, very high standard these days. Games don't need to give you 1,000 hours of entertainment to be worthwhile. I've played loads of games that I played somewhere between 100 to 150 hours of. 100, like, hell, 50 is enough most of the time. But, like, most of these games I end up playing for about 100 hours. Helldivers, Warhammer Darktide, that was also great. But both those games were great games. But I just kind of had enough of what they had to offer. And that's okay. And if WARDOGS is the same, that's also okay. It doesn't need to be the second coming of 10,000 hour gaming. It's fine. Ark didn't do anything about cheaters. Actually, I do know what Ark did wrong for me specifically. Now that you've said that, because that reminded me. I don't know why it reminded me, because it's got nothing to do with it really. But what really killed Ark for me was the aggression-based matchmaking. And that might seem strange. Because that shouldn't really matter, right? Because if you want to be an aggressive player, you'll be in aggressive lobbies. If you don't want to be an aggressive player, then you won't be in aggressive lobbies. But the problem for me with the aggression-based matchmaking is once... So I'm typically... I'm not like an uber PvP Chad, right? And so as soon as the player base kind of goes a bit passive, and they gave you all the incentives and all the reasons to team up in that game. Also, even just the rhetoric of the game itself, which is like, it's us against the Ark. Like, let's be nice to each other. It's it's the humans against the evil bots on the surface. All of that gave us all the reasons to like not fight each other. And then when you didn't fight each other, you then found other players who weren't going to fight, and then nobody fought, which was fine to start with. And it's like, oh, I can really easily get my progression here. And then it's like, the wipe happens, and it's like, okay, well, I could just do the same thing again, but I know there's not going to be anybody who I'm going to need to fight, because I'm playing in the non-aggressive servers. And like, I'm not going to go out of my way to go and shoot a bunch of people so that I get into aggressive servers to make the game harder for myself to get the progression, right? Like, that's not my job. That's the game's job to structure that so that I can play the game to the best of my ability and enjoy myself. Not so that I have to hamstring myself on purpose so I get into exciting lobbies. And so fundamentally, it ended up breaking my experience of the game because I want to try to play against the progression of the game to make my life as easy as I can based on the game's own systems. I never played Milsim before, but this one seems the best to try. I would agree. It's like a really nice balance between arcadey style Milsims and actual Milsims. Thoughts on the Fragmentary Order teaser? I mean, we don't really know anything. I want to see the actual gameplay trailer. We're not going to know anything about this game until we actually see like what systems there are in the game. I've got absolutely no idea what the game is about, and until like it doesn't really matter. I think the aesthetic is cool. I think the fact that it's hard sci-fi is cool. I think the fact that the game is supposed to be really hard is also cool and interesting. But depending on everything else outside the shooting, that's going to make or break the game. So I don't know. I think I played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for at least 500 hours. Yeah, I mean, it's thing is, that's the thing. You don't need to be playing the game forever. What game are we talking about? We were talking about WARDOGS. 100% agree on Ark. It happened the same for me. Yeah, so when I like, you know, was staring down the barrel of like doing the reset, I was like, well, I now know I can get to the you know, the next stage on Ark easily. I can get back to where I was, and I could grind the stuff, and I could kill the things and whatever else. But it's just, what am I doing this for? Because at the end of the day, I'm not really fighting anybody anyway. What I really think Ark could have done with, actually, was maybe some kind of, like, limited game mode type things, where it's, like, a big, almost like a big, yeah, I don't know, big squads of people against, like, a big Ark. Almost like a collaborative mission. I think that would have actually been kind of sick. I think that would have gone quite hard. Because Ark ended up kind of being, like, the PvE extraction shooter, sort of. I know there were other people, but, like, the game mode was overwhelmingly, friendly, right? And people kind of grouping up. So I think they could have leaned into that more with certain specific raids and whatever. Whether that would have saved it, I don't know. But Ark first person when? They said they were not going to do it, right? Because it makes it so difficult. The range of textures. I was talking to a friend who's like actually in gaming, and they were like, well, you know, it's hard because like a game like Tarkov has got everything from, it's got like every range. It's got like long range. It's got things right up to your face. It's actually quite hard to just model all that stuff. Because in Ark, they said themselves, they were like, we don't have to do like textures to here, so we can make the gun models like a bit lower res and stuff because we don't actually have to model this in game, for example. Ark made the mistake of betraying its core mechanics trying to appeal to a mass audience. In what way? What do you mean? What do you think? I saw they split matchmaking, so your solo and group aggression-based matchmaking tracked separately. So I guess you could do PvE on solo and PvP in a group. Yeah, you could do that as well. I did a bit of that. Did some PvP on groups, but... yeah, I don't know. I still love Ark. I think Ark's a great game. And I really enjoyed the aesthetic of the world and everything else. I enjoyed like figuring out how to beat all the bots. But after I'd gone through all the progression once, then I just wasn't as interested anymore. I wonder if WARDOGS would be less fun when everyone has 50 cal snipers. It's a big question. I don't know what happens, because the beginning of the beta test, because we're talking 3 days of progression here, and I know some of the endgame stuff might be really, really expensive, which is actually quite a nice way of them balancing it. There's like a big grind to do it. You just play the game normally, and then you unlock stuff later on, which is not necessarily even like upgrades, but just like other things you can buy. I do think that's actually one good way of them balancing the game in general. But like, for example, so at the beginning of the thing, it was just like, well, it was just like infantry battles, because no one had level 7 support, so you couldn't use the big hammer. Then it was all about fobs and the drill to bring the hot zone to you. Then it was all about mortars and subsequently artillery. And then the final day was all about tanks. Aggression-based matchmaking, it betrayed the core mechanics of the game. Yeah. I think you're right, actually. Because the thing is, the actual community was overwhelmingly positive and helpful and friendly in the first place. So having people still have to kind of distrust people was part of the experience. I think. Oh, I mean, maybe they could have thrown in 1 or 2 aggressive people into the. I don't know. It's just difficult when you fiddle around with it like that. It's quite hard. Tanks were incredibly cheap once unlocked. I know, I used one. I finally unlocked it, right? It was 500,000 rubles to unlock the tank. I was like, man, it's going to be like 40k to play one. It's going to be crazy. If they were 14,000 rubles, I was like, holy crap. That's about the same price as a fully kitted out Mosin kit. Because the motion is absolutely insane in WARDOGS, by the way. It's like if you're wearing level 1 or 2 armor, it's like a one-shot kill to the chest. Which is completely bonkers. It's like using the AXMC and EFT. It's like actually bonkers level. USD, sorry, yeah, USD. I'm so Tarkov build, I can't avoid. But yeah, so it's $14,000. WARDOGS, oh, dude, it's so good. Such a good game. Such a good game. I love it. I'm loving it. But yeah, well, who knows? This is the thing. Nobody can predict how the player base will interact with the progression systems. I haven't even seen like how you unlock all the stuff and like how those things are then going to interact with all of the other systems. So it's impossible to know on the rock, paper, scissors-ness whether one of these things is going to break everything, whether they're going to have to change it, whether fundamentally there's going to be some problem with the game that stops it from being playable long-term. I don't know. I can see myself playing this a bit more than normal games simply because I've got my IRL friends interested and it seems like the kind of game that we would like. But the proof is in the pudding and it's all going to depend on what actually happens. How it plays out. I can't predict that. I really don't know. 2 tankers on my team, got 200 kills and no deaths. But that's also because we don't really have... Like, people haven't figured out the counters for them. Because people figured out the counters for some of the other stuff. It's a escalating war, right? I killed one of the tanks at the end with RPG on my own. I don't think they were very good, but... You know, it's technically doable. But there'll be counters as well. Like, nobody was really using the explosive, like, UAV drones, like the FPV drones. Which apparently, like, 2 of them will take out a tank. And yeah, they're a little expensive, but hopefully you'll make your money.
What's going on over there?
Hopefully you make your money back. Press the wrong button then. What's going on over there? People will think it's like... in PvE, PMCs. Oh my god. Someone's in here. Don't know what the best bet is. I've got to go up to the top somewhere. Someone's up there meandering around. I think the playtest didn't really reflect how WARDOGS will play when everyone figures out the meta. I think managing that will make or break the game. I agree. I actually 100% agree with that. You're saying rubles, I know. I can't help it. Monopoly money. Exactly. Looking more into WARDOGS, I'm not a fan of the revive mechanic. I think it's okay. It seems okay given the type of game it is. It sort of incentivizes teammates to help each other and like be in a group. I feel like I'm going to have to go a different route here because whoever this is they're not going to let me just come in here easily. To think outside the box here a bit. I don't want to just push into some doofus who's just camping in dorms. That seems suboptimal. Can't look up enough, can I? Now I got that WARDOGS in me now. I got that milsim behavior in me. I'd never normally lie down in here. There's probably a good reason for that. We'll see what happens. See WARDOGS living rent free in Mr. Beef said too. You had a chance to play in a group. I played like every evening with my IRL friend group. It was absolutely insane. Playtest was kind of like Tarkov early wipe. That's why it's so good to play now. That's why I feel like if you think, even if you think that you might enjoy it, you got to play it now. Because the game might all be figured out in 3 weeks' time. And the best part will already be, you know, might already be over. Give the super forgive giving revive system WARDOGS a chance. What makes Sticky to go in squad so possible? Yeah, I think so. Especially given the harsh penalty for dying. Isn't the playtest over until September launch? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I think there's shenanigans afoot. They keep talking about the 3rd of September on socials. They're doing a thing. They're doing a thing. I think there's shenanigans afoot. I think that they're going to release like a open beta or like a server slam or something. It's funny. It's really the player base itself sabotaging the games nowadays with their metas. I think it's just inevitable. And it's inevitable figuring stuff out. But that's the point of a game, right? Is if the game is easily figured out with the metas, then it's not been very well designed. So you need to balance it such that there's not so much of a strong, you know, the WARDOGS guys, Bulkhead, need to balance WARDOGS a bit like if it was an RTS. I don't feel like it's fair though to say like the player base like shouldn't try to figure out what's best. Like, isn't that the whole point? Like, it's on the devs to make a game that's interesting enough that there isn't like one best way to win. I know there'll usually be like a few best ways at, you know, in the end of the day, but like, you know, I kind of saw metaforming a stacking map drill as buildable drill. Me too, but then that kind of started getting countered by arty, you see. So artillery in the game changes the game, but artillery costs 400k to unlock. And there is the crux. It's like the beginning of WARDOGS is like early wipe in EFT. And so some of the strategies that work on day 1 don't work on day 3 because a bunch of people have unlocked artillery and now you try to build it and you just get shelled. Yeah, especially anything competitive. I agree. Min-maxing is part of gaming now, indeed. I think the economy needs a proper overhaul. Well, let's just see how it plays out. I mean, I would say it's been too early. Arcane the progression too much of casuals and matchmaking took all the attention out. And that's true. And that's fine. And I don't want to be this person, but I'm going to be for the purposes of this moment. But this is what they were going for ultimately. So none of us are playing Ark now, right? But a bunch of people are. And between console and this, they probably still have way over 50,000 players. Which is amazing, honestly. It's amazing. You know, it's been nearly a year. And these live service games are fickle these days. So maybe that was the whole point. Can you bless me so I might find the Gigabee for my last cup item? I hope you find it. Oh, PvE on ice. Yeah. I want this guy to leave so I can go in. I think the meta wouldn't be too bad since it's 3-way. 2 different teams salting a team hunger down with drills would be super fun. While people just sitting in fobs and not doing nothing much. I think it depends. How do you feel about the recall in WARDOGS? I actually thought it was quite good because it was quite hard to control. You don't want people just like beaming each other. I couldn't unlock the M4 because I couldn't get enough assault. Me neither, actually. I ended up just using the AK. WARDOGS looks fun if you have friends to play with and you're decent at competitive FPS. I don't think you need to be good at competitive FPS. I probably spent 1/3 of my time in the playtest using an actual rifle to shoot other people. Did the guy in Dorm State car and leave? Good point. Let's check. Maybe. Have you ever been in contact to do contract work to provide consultation on game design? No. I'd like to though. That'd be cool. I just don't like revives in general. That's fine. That's fine. WARDOGS looks fun. Yeah. Sorry, I already read that. I'd love to play, but I don't have the skill to enjoy it beyond a few rounds. I can't justify the cost for that. I genuinely think that there's something there for everybody, because you can. There's loads of people just end up like flying the helicopter in and out of the hot zone, and it's not just like, oh, I'm the taxi. It's like you're like flying in under enemy fire and having to get the people down without dying and without killing everybody as well, because you get penalized for like the teammates' deaths if you do it badly. So there's a lot of people that just they just flew heli for the whole weekend and they didn't expect to, and then they ended up just getting really into it. You know, there's a whole bunch of people who literally just do the base building section because they find that the most fun. It's... Oh, someone's still over there. It's very interesting. Actually surprised you haven't been contacted. Huh. I played Foxhole for about 40 hours and maybe fired a gun twice. The most interesting part of Foxhole is not being on the front line. It's a very similar game in some sense. Foxhole is an interesting one. The funny thing about Foxhole was that Foxhole was almost too big to work, in my personal opinion, unless you really are very invested in the game. And it's because a game like WARDOGS lasts a while, right? 2.5 hours is a sort of soft maximum. But Foxhole lasts like, what is it, 2 months? A month? 2 months? Something like that. And the problem with the game lasting 2 months is that it requires more coordination. And it ends up being dominated by big clans. And you have to be part of one of the big clans to access a lot of the content. Because if you're not part of one of the big groups organizing, you just simply won't be able to make a tank by yourself, really. And you won't be able to use the good stuff. And you'll just be on the front line. And yeah, you could do like harassment stuff, like insurgency stuff, which is fun. But the game is like, it's too big in scope to be a casual in that game and actually access all the things. And so for me, I love the idea of Foxhole. Again, it's another one of these games where every item you use, every vehicle, every rifle, every bandage, every like respawn ticket was produced by a real player, a building that a real player created, a factory that a real player set up. And I love the idea of those games more than the actual like playing of those games usually. It's like PlanetSide. I didn't play PlanetSide, but lots of people have told me I would have loved it based on the other games that I like. But yeah, it's basically like two teams. It's World War II era weapons and tanks and things. And was it World War One? Is it World War One or two? Anyway, and then the two teams face off against each other over like a long time. A month. There's absolutely a problem in the game, but not as big as you make it out to be. I mean, it was big enough problem for me to stop playing. WARDOGS said there are already counters for problems in the economy designed out that are simply not in the game yet. They're super ambitious for content 1.0 with skill tree gunsmith. Well, it could be pretty cool. Foxhole's like evil PlanetSide or something. Maybe. There are tons of casual friendly clans that you join them on any kind of content. Clans give out, sell the big toys to smaller groups. Maybe, but it revolves you then having to like interact. I don't know. It was just like, I would say that's like, it felt hard to get like into as somebody who was like casually playing the game. How much did I actually play in it? I don't know if I can bring it up from here. Let me see. How much did I end up playing? I played 50 hours of Foxhole. So not main the game, but not insignificant. How much did I play Squad? 50 hours again. But yeah, Bad Company 2, I played 250 hours. Which is probably why I like this one so much. It's probably why I like this game so much. After a long day on TARKOV, I go on Foxhole and drive Logi. See, loads of people like doing Logi. Play Foxhole was part of the group back in 2022. The group I was part of did a bit of RT frontline, going to the back lines. We were mainly a Logi team. I remember using Rocket RT and dropping it on teammates. Like, sadly, the game does absolutely nothing to show players any of this, but communities built resources to make the game enjoyable to everyone. Sure, yeah. It's not like... There's nothing in the game that says, like, here's easily how you, like, join a group who are friendly and are going to do stuff, whatever. The game's just... The game basically says to you, like, go on the front lines and, like, just be fodder. And you see people riding around in the tanks and whatever. But there's no way that you're actually going to get one. I mean, we spoke to a few people. But the sort of, I don't know, the overall vibe of it was kind of like, yeah, we're doing this operation kind of thing. Like, people weren't unfriendly, but it wasn't just like, oh, here, have this, have this tank on us kind of deal. You know, I'm pretty sure we asked a few people, like, you know, what exactly should we be doing? Like, how do we get involved in the game? And I think what a lot of people recommended to us to do, like, yeah, like insurgency behind the line stuff. I did push. We did do like some big pushes with other people, like joined in, but again, we were just infantry. Was this what we had to do? I can't remember what we actually had to do here. Oh, we just have to survive next right now. Okay. Just got here. Did you enjoy WARDOGS? I absolutely loved WARDOGS. It was so good. I'm playing it with a bunch of IRL friends. It was exceptional. Probably the best sort of squad style FPS I've played in a long time. And the risk of repeating myself a few times, but it reminded me of Battlefield Bad Company 2, which was probably my all-time favorite kind of, like, you know, arcadey sort of semi-mil sim sort of associated game. It was just really, really good fun. What is that? Oh, I'll take dragon. I'll take that. I really enjoyed it. It was really, really, really good. Oh, that's the light. That's just the light switch. Anything else? What's that? Good iron. Don't care about that. Okay. Battlefield 2. I have a friend who Battlefield 2 is his favorite. But he's one of the guys who... This got closed. Did it get closed by a scav? Yeah, he's one of the people I recommended to play this. We've been playing together. He used to be like a jet guy. He was like Battlefield 2 jet guy. But he was like... He was like one of those people who was like his game, you know? It was like top 10 EU for BF2 or something for one particular season. I can't remember. Any tips on farming retro traders? You basically need to look at what the quests are going to give you and farm the highest level quests. Because the higher level quests give you like way more XP. So you need to be doing like the level... If you're at level 2, you need to be doing the level 2 quest because they give you 0.25 rather than 0.1. And then if you're at level 3, you need to be doing level 3 quest because they give you 0.75 rather than 0.25, which is just crazy. Me and my friends played the armor version back in the day. I had a blast. It was so good. Did you play it over the weekend then? Honestly, it was genuinely so much fun. You closed that door. Did I? I've always said I get like amnesia playing this game. And I got MCC on perm. Hey, nice. Probably just a scav now. He's on his way somewhere. For the infantry only aspect of BF2. See, I liked the vehicle light model of Battlefield Bad Company. Am I just about to take a call? My phone just like... Oh, it's because it's full charge, that's why. Yeah, I like the vehicle light model of Battlefield Bad Company 2. That is unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah, 3 fights fighting instead of 100 people, each team has 100. Oh wow. What are the fundamental differences between Armor King of the Hill and WARDOGS? I would love to know. People keep saying it's the same thing. It was my birthday weekend, so I went on a bender. Fair enough. But yeah, what actually are the differences? I can't see them now. Because, yeah, people are always saying that they're the same game, basically, but I would love to know, like, what the actual differences are. Oh, yeah, it's the LOD on those things, isn't it? I played as a duo, we struggled to feel like we knew what to do at any given time. Like we could choose personal game, but all our teams were in last place every time. Yeah, I do think there is a bit of a struggle to figure out like what to do. I was very confused because my initial interaction with WARDOGS was that I was very confused. I didn't really know what I was doing. It took me 20 hours to work out basically the game structure and to understand what to actually prioritize. I might make a video about it actually. I forgot about that. I forgot that I felt that way. Where's Mr. Slidey? Where's Mr. Slidey feet?
Вон он, сука!
There's like a weird loud coughing sound. Do I technically have this exfil? I actually don't. Oh no, I do. But I don't actually have it. Ooh. Ew. Okay, make sure this is actually make sure this is actually flagged. Nice. Buying little birds for everyone. Very nice. Oops, I don't. Back up to some good nights. Yeah. Is it even worth taking good helmets to icebreaker or just any high ricochet? Yeah, I just take like a ratnik or something, or even maybe not bother. You can grab a helmet off the roads or off Black Division. You don't actually need to take one, theoretically. Please do. TARKOV is enough. Funny enough, it's fun for the same reasons. You can't destroy the buildings, and it's PvP infantry focus. Yeah, that's probably true. Go. I don't know how far can you run down here now. I know you can run like down some of it. I don't know if you can run right the edge though. I'm not sure. They used to teach and encourage people to use drills or towers. So many camp them, but don't attempt to use the gameplay function. Yeah, people just do it because I think they think like, oh, this is what we need to do. But I've broken through like that barrier of like, oh, I actually understand like how the game structures. So now we can just do like random stuff. Looking for Meldonin. Anyone remembers getting anyone common or rare? I don't remember actually. So I needed some fun in Search Things WARDOGS. Oh yeah, you were watching too, Horizon. Yes, yes. My first real FPS was BF3. I was played 5,000 hours of Rush alone. Crazy. If I was winning Arma 3, King of the Hill, unless you ran a modded server, or at least when I played. Interesting. Yeah, you can launch fell on the grass and run on the grass. All the way to the edge? I actually need to test it, so I'm not like worried about it every time we do it. Some sort of marker appeared on screen. You have the flare at the correct angle. No, it's only after you fired it. It tells you that the flare has been activated now, but it doesn't tell you until you've actually done it. Which is the rub. Well, let's go hand this in. I think this is a fence one. This is like digging up the dirt. Eliminate 20 PMCs. I don't remember this being a thing. Is this just for season or what? Sniper shot after the flare still freaks me out. I think you forgot about the DRD. I did. We can put this in its place. Fabulous. What do we get there? A reader. People still pay top dollar for these. Every time I use the 416, I'm always like, holy recoil, it's so hard to use. I think I'm just so used to the M4 at this point, I just can't use the 416. But you didn't know how to function outside of holding? Yes. You should watch my video. I did a video about basically the basics of things that people don't realize. I've done an actual video on my channel. You should go and check that out. I actually genuinely think it's useful because I basically collected the stuff that I wish that I'd have known before I played, and that the tower mechanics were explained in that one. But I want to do another one which is like more advanced, which is basically like the things that you should be doing to help your team almost, right? Like you get in, what should you be doing? Because I remember in the first like 2 or 3 hours just being confused about what I should do. It reminded me, yeah, people just like stood about. You go to the hot zone. Sometimes you're not being attacked and you're just like wandering around. I had one game that I remember where I think it was at the very end because I did manage to play the very last closed beta test as well, rather than this one. But I played like at the very end, and I was just like, what's everybody actually doing? I don't really understand what's happening here because people already had like tanks and stuff, and they had the recon vehicle, the respawn one. They had that like just driving around inside the hot zone. And like the enemy team just like weren't fighting at us at all for some reason. And I didn't really understand why. So I was like, I guess we're helping by standing in here and like we're making money. But I'm also like incredibly bored. I was like, it's all well and good like winning and making cash, but unless like something, I'm just running around chasing the hot zone, and it's just really boring. Are you gonna watch that FPS Fest the Bulkhead is doing on stream? I'd like to. When is it again? On the 3rd of September. When's that? So that is in a week on Thursday. When is it? (7 PM UK? Is that what it says? Yeah. 7 PM UK on a Thursday. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch it. I'll definitely look at it afterwards. Definitely. But there's something coming, right? They said it's going to release on the 10th, but it's not. There's something happening. The FPS game show, it's their show. They're putting it on, and they're going like, oh ho ho, you better be checking in. I'm impressed they didn't have an NDA for the WARDOGS beta. With this latest one, yes, I'm so glad. What kind of confirmation do you get after you fire it? Oh, it's down in the bottom right. It says, flare, whatever. You see, so they, technically speaking, there's 2 confirmations. You fire the flare, it says flare zone, you fire the flare. It then says, message received, you're clear to extract in the bottom right, as like a little notification. And also, they fire a flare too. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't always work, or maybe you can't see it, or maybe I'm not paying attention, or maybe there's a gunshot, or maybe it's too bright. So I feel sometimes you can't see it. I don't know, I've had that. But you should be able to see at least one of them. Sometimes I feel like the notification doesn't go off either. But you should be able to see at least one of the 2 things. Oh, and the Demontovich thing. I'm slowly collecting up all of these like streamer item ones that you need. Oh, I got one. Yeah, Gingy keychain as well. I don't know. There we go. Okie dokie. Right, what were we talking about? What do you think of the new Frago teaser / trailer? I think it's borderline useless until we know more actual information about the game. It's cool to see some of the aesthetic of it, but I don't feel like that tells us... Do you think it tells us anything? Like, we've sort of seen some of the screenshots anyway about what the game aesthetic's going to be like, so I don't think that's anything new. until we know about the actual systems of the game, I can't really make any speculation or guesses as to what it actually might be, what kind of game it might be. As with WARDOGS, right? Like if you just showed people the FPS gameplay, who knows? It could be any kind of game, right? Any kind of FPS game. Who the frick knows? So until we see something a bit more concrete about like the systems in place, about what's actually involved with Fragmentary Order, we're not going to know any more than we do already. That's my take on it. I'm waiting for more information to come through because I can't make any judgment calls about what the game's going to be like, about whether it's going to be fun or anything. You know, whether it's going to have engaging systems. It's impossible to tell right now. But I mean, that's okay. I don't mind. Was that the one where the Jeopard AA tank was enabled? I'd not seen that. No. Test the customs for extracting offline for science. We could do. I mean, this is more of a me just chatting and doing like random tasks anyway. We'll do it on offline. Fine. I'm just thinking about WARDOGS. Loving it. I'm not convinced I prefer sci-fi over Eastern setting, but we'll have to see. I mean, I love sci-fi, so we'll just have to see about it. But Snipers made insane cash. Ah, you know what though? Snipers did make a bit of money, but a lot of it was about spotting. And yes, I agree that all the playstyles should be equally viable. 100% agree with that. They're going to have to do some balancing. What I ended up doing though was using the spotting stuff from Recon a lot, even if I was playing Assault, which I quite like. Nikita said extensive gameplay drops in September. Cool, but so long as it's not just with people walking through buildings firing at each other. We need like actual gameplay, not a gameplay trailer. Like actual gameplay, like what it looks like when you load in. What does the menu look like? What are the options? What are the, you know, where can you go? Do you have to fly around the solar system? Is there like a meta game? Because we know so far you're going to be controlling an entity. You're not the actual fighter. You're controlling an entity remotely, a bit like in the film Gamer. So you're going to be controlling this entity remotely, which is going to have, you know, ramifications if you blow it up, I guess. But we don't really know. We don't really know anything about. Oh god, we're so far away. We will keep you updated. Long and detailed gameplay trailer will be presented this September. Well, yes. I hope it's long and detailed in a systematic sense, because it's the systems that matter for these games. Yes, the base game has to be good, but that's the minimum bar to entry. It's like when. I mean, honestly, it's like Marathon, right? I said, before we really saw anything about Marathon, we had the game designers explaining why people want to play Marathon. And I was really, really concerned that they said the reason why you want to play Marathon is so you can go through, level up, get the better gear, and do like the more higher contracts. I'm just like, sure, but there's like, that's like the bar, that's like literally the end. Like, it's, if it doesn't have that, it's not an extraction shooter for a start. So like, that can't be the reason to play the game. None of that's going to come from like what the actual shooting looks like, really. That's going to add to it, and it's going to add flavor. How the game plays out, like, you know, WARDOGS, obviously the shooting mechanics are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I quite like the way the recoil works, actually. I think it's quite cool, and I like the fact the recoil's like quite high, especially at the beginning, because it means that it makes just playing Assault like kind of difficult. You can't just like run in and Rambo everybody, at least at the start. Yeah, you can make good money just spotting, I agree. So we'll see. What's your favourite sci-fi game of all time? Probably X3, I would say. I actually haven't played, funny enough, I haven't actually played that many sci-fi games. I've probably read a lot more sci-fi. The thing is, there's not that many good sci-fi games, really. There are some, obviously. I'm more into, like, the big sci-fi stuff, though, really, rather than, like, FPS story-driven sci-fi stuff. And there's not that many games like that. I did enjoy Stellaris. I played a bit of Stellaris. That was quite fun. Never really got into Sins of Solar Empire. FTL, that's technically a sci-fi game, and I love FTL. FTL is so good. Classic quality of life thing if you refuse to improve. Message pop-ups. Could it be any smaller, last any less time on screen, and then disappear forever? True. Favorite stuff are going natural selections. I've never even heard of it. Planet Side 2. So many people have told me that I would have loved Planet Side 2. So anyway, so I think you can fire the flare anyway here. Let's get out of the area. Let's see. Okay, we're finding that's the signal flare area. It's like really quite big. Where's the signal flare area from here? Okay, we're going to try it right against the wall, basically, just to see if it works. Like, how far can you go? So there. Flare received. You can extract safely. We'll try it. See how far across you can be. Yeah, you're not allowed to be here, by the way. You can never trust BSG. You can never trust BSG. Never trust them! Never trust them, ever. This is why we test. This is the reason why we test. And this is why we test in offline raids as well. Because heaven forbid I do that in a successful real raid when I get convinced by chat that it's totally fine. It's probably fine for most of it, right? But just not like the edge. You're not allowed to touch the wall, but it works otherwise. That seems to be clear at this point. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not pointing you out, Mr. Ole. I'm just pointing out the ridiculousness of the situation. You know? No clue you're in offline? Yeah. I'm not. There's no way I'm testing something like that in a real raid. For that precise reason. For that precise reason. So you could probably be on the grass, but you're just not allowed to be that far across. But why wouldn't they just put the bounding box outside the walls? Put the bounding box outside of the walls. Like, how hard is it? How hard is it to just... How is this like the second pass? How is this the second? It's already had one pass on this, right? Where it was really, really excruciating to play. Then they've already redone it once, and it's still like this in some way, because like, surely it's really obvious for them in the dev mode, right? You can be like zoomed out, see where the boxes are for the sniper zone, and see where the extract zone is for the flare thing. Surely it's so obvious. It's so crazy, man. It's actually so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Right, well, I'm going to carry on doing it how I do it, because I can't be bothered to test it for a third time. And we'll go down on the grass, but nowhere near the wall. Nowhere near the wall. It's just funny, no? At this point, it's just funny. It's just funny. Right, so what? We have to kill loads of people per rep? Is that the idea? Is that what we have to do now? Kill 20 PMCs. Okay, well, I mean, that's just going to happen in the background. Kill scavs with AK. Oh, what's else on my list? So theta containers still on my list, but we need to kill a load of PMCs. The injector case, I've actually already done that now. Jaeger's like all bosses, so I can't be bothered with that. I mean, what else is like... Oh yeah, I need to get to... So I basically just need to get to prep 4, which requires level 36. So we just need to get more tasks done. I mean, these are good XP, to be fair. Oh, why haven't I done that one before? All right. Well, that was fairly easy. Spark plug, seaside vacation. Locate and obtain the informant's briefcase on the lighthouse. Here come the lighthouse tasks. Absolutely joyous. I've only got one spark plug. Yippee. Oh, but you get the crafting recipe in the hideout. But you probably can't buy this thing until later, I don't think. Sadly, they don't have a system where they have lots of people to test things. Some sort of like ETS system. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Shame. Oh, you need to be level 40. Is Early Task exclusive to EOD anymore? I actually don't know. I think the Good Times is, isn't it? Is this one... Is this EOD exclusive, this thing? Forget. Giga Lighthouse main. Thoughts on restricted classes versus flexible class structures like WARDOGS? I miss restricted class that forces you to commit to class. I think it depends on the game. I think in WarDogs it works really well, having just open, flexible classes. You could do all sorts of cool things that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. So I actually think it's really good. But that's just me. That's just my personal opinion on it. I think it's something like... What do I survive? Any location. Survive the location. I need to scout an area so things go smoothly. Maybe we'll carry on with Punisher Part 2, I don't know. AKM on Shoreline. That's pretty funny. This kid's just like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Go anywhere. No, I do quite like it. I like the fact that the thing is, it opens up a lot of flexibility for doing all sorts of interesting things, which is what I like. I like interesting things. I think in a game like Battlefield, it actually makes more sense to have restricted classes, personally, simply because otherwise, I don't know. I think it makes it like, I think it makes the game kind of like too freeform in some ways. You kind of want to like people to fulfill their roles, whereas in a sandbox, in a more sandbox style game, I think it's actually fine to have the open classes in that way. But again, as I said, it's just my opinion. I don't know. I think this thing's actually quite good. This double tracks thing. Is that better than? It's like the same as a Zhukov. As Zhukov U. I wonder if it's cheaper than this. How much is this? 36k? What's that? ECs? 20k? How much is double tracks? 9 plus 9? 18. That's actually pretty good value. This is the one that I looked at before on the gun builder, TARKOV DB. Yeah, I think it actually might be one of the better ones. And for one ergo, you know, it's pretty cool. I like the way it looks too. Oh, the aggressor's good as well, but I can't buy that yet. Aspid? Which is that? 25. Yeah, this seems kind of like the deal, I think. Just do the Bastion. So if we're playing Shoreline, we probably want some kind of optic going as. I want some kind of middle ground here. I don't want to go all ergo, I don't think. 89 is quite high. It doesn't really make any difference, does it? Well, I guess it's -4, but there's a bit of ergo there. I was going to use the gunfighter, but I don't think I can. I wonder if that's. It feels like the ergo is actually just not really worth it. Oh yeah, and then you lose this thing, don't you? Maybe we do just go for ergo. I don't know. Well, I can't buy that. I don't know why I'm putting that on. Right, let's just build any old gun. It doesn't really matter what we do. Right, then what have I got to place on the top of this thing? Valdes, hammers. I use the hammer. Picked up the hammer from some random guy. I'm not going to use this any other time, so let's just do it. Let's just do it. Right, unload this. Have I got any other mags lying around? What's that? Oh, I got a 50 round drum. Use that. Actually kind of sick. That actually works with my build quite nicely. That much ammo for this. I didn't buy PP, PS. Darn. Mostly T45. I guess I got a little bit of PP we can use at the top. I got a bit BP as well, but it feels for a scav task, it feels like it's a bit not sensible. I don't know, something like that. You know, I'll probably do. Just stick those in like that. And then we'll take a full stack of this, and then just a bit of yes with us, and then we will get rid of that, take this, take that. Pop, pop. Put these in here. Running simulator shoreline. What else do we need? Do we need the... we don't need Fleb. We do need Paraquad, and we need a Red Rebel. Go on to here. What am I doing? Did I put the glorious thing in here? Yeah, it's in there already. Good. Okie dokie. So, food and water. Go. Big bottle of this. Splint. Did I need anything else? Not really. I think we're good otherwise. And then... is it spelled that way? Now these come down in price. I think MREs are actually really quite good value. Right. Anything else to do on shoreline? Probably. Surgery kit. Shoreline. Thermoscope on shoreline. That's in pier. Ah, where are these? Excavator in the Ural truck. Arrgh. Should actually do that. Okay. We'll try and do that then. I think Bulkhead needs to just keep the playtest open and encourage people to find game-breaking shit before EA in 2 weeks. Probably, yes. I think you're probably right. Because people are going to do it when it goes out. So they got to find this stuff as soon as they can. Restricted classes will make it easy to balance. Indeed. I think the flexibility will definitely lead to a more pronounced meta. It could do. It depends whether they balance it or not. I think those two things go hand in hand with you, with your comment there, basically being like, you know, is it easy enough to balance or not, right? Like there's more, the decision tree is bigger, right, with open classes. So the amount of like dodgy stuff that you can combine together with open flexible classes is just much higher. So you can combine together things that are pretty dopey. I think though, because the stuff is restricted kind of by like money, right? Like you have to decide to like buy a bigger bag to do this other stuff. I don't think the restricted classes necessarily make that much difference to stuff overall. I feel like a lot of it is based on the actual progression through the game itself, rather than necessarily like the classes of the inventory, if you know what I mean. Like I feel like the game breaking stuff is going to be, you know, with tanks, with arty, with anti-air, with this, with that, with the other, as opposed to anything else. Should I try to go down to here straight away? To here? Or was that a bad idea? Probably a terrible idea, actually. Is Sanitar's like first? Because it'd be quite nice to do to get the Pier 1 out of the way. Is Sanitar's first thingy inside and above one of the shelves in there? I can't remember where it is. Where is it inside? Does anyone remember? I always forget. Oh, let's put that on full also. That would be bad. You no longer fit all the items you've collected inside the streamer case. Didn't they get rid of some of them? Some of them don't need to be youth collected anymore, right? I don't remember which ones though. I think it's on the shelf. I think the sunny thing is up on the shelf. Okay, I'm actually not gonna, well... I shouldn't do this, really, because I'm not in here for loot. But it's impossible to say no to a safe, right? How could you say no to a safe? I mean, intel is like, that makes it worthwhile anyway. Okay, maybe I'm glad I did now. I'm a sucker. Now I'm gonna die on the way out and be like, well, at least we got the intel, so it was worth it. So where did I say we need to go? Constructions... No, power station. There's a Ural near power station. Ural. I drove the Ural quite a lot on the WARDOGS playtest the other day. Good fun. Usually a duffel that's Giga Kryptonite. Yeah. I'm a sucker for a duffel bag, you know that. Oh, I wonder if that played the... Yeah, that's definitely playing the falling down sound. That's not good. Oh, I can't get up. I thought you could get up that. Oh, it's this one. It's here. Yeah. Dope. Well, I just projected my location 60 meters around me. Anybody who cared to listen. Need to get some stamina back. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, no, the WARDOGS is just gonna be. It's just so much fun though. I can't wait for whatever comes with it. Whether it's early access that they do beforehand on the 3rd, or they announce something that's gonna come, or whatever else. I love the fact that they've got like a big testing area, so you can try using the helis. Because that's like one big blocker for a lot of people. They don't want to do it live in a real game. A lot of the time. I mean, hell, I don't. But I'd love to. I didn't actually spend much time doing it. Because I was like, I can get good at heli whenever I like. On my own time. But I'm not going to get to see the progression systems otherwise. And no one's interested in me getting good at heli specifically, right? People are interested in... You know, what's the progression system? How do you... do various things and whatnot, not like me like smashing my teammates into the floor repeatedly. So yeah, I haven't prioritized doing any heli stuff, but I do like the fact that it's, you know, you can just like play in there, just mess about, give it a try. He's hidden his head. Who are you calling Suka? It's quite cool they've got those in the game. Where was the other one? Oh yeah, Smugglers. Smuggler's base. Right, well, maybe we'll go this way for that. Smuggler's base excavator. No, but we were interested. Would you crash your heli over and over? I'd love it if they kept the private practice area open, so we could at least look at the systems and whatnot. I'm interested to see about the unlocks, because yeah, some of the things I need to go back over the footage that I've got of me like scrolling through the different pages. I should have taken a proper like video of me scrolling through every page, every unlock, like when the various things appear and what levels they're at. I have them scattered through the footage, but it's not really that I didn't do them in a very good way, which is a bit silly really. I was just enjoying the game too much. Forgot to take some like actual footage. I do technically have it all somewhere, but I got so much footage. I got like 30 hours of like random footage from WARDOGS. So I have to find it in and amongst that. I got some really good moments though. I've like been in a tank versus tank battle and won. Been in an RPG versus tank battle and won. That was good. Been doing, you know, random SAM site fob out in the middle of the enemy territory, blowing up helis. Been a spotter for like portable manpad style anti-air. Got a Ural with an RPG and a Kodiak with like 4 guys in it. I have one clip though. Some of these are coming on shorts soon. I have one clip that was absolutely amazing where I managed to I shot a Yui out of the air with the main battle tank cannon. That was excellent. Truly excellent. There's somebody in there, annoyingly. I could hear them shooting a minute ago. Do you know what the loudest actions in game? How far it travels? I have a full video about that actually, which goes into excruciating detail. I usually do that every time they make a big change to the sound system. So there will be one for 1.0. I haven't actually done one for seasonal because I don't think they made any major changes. If you look it up, it'll be like audio guide or something from about 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer, maybe 9 months ago. But yeah, but jumping is by far the loudest of really any action that you could do in EFT. And then running. I mean, wood. The thing is, wood and metal are quite noisy, but it's more about the distance at which you hear them is actually not. It's not actually that much greater than you would think. So it's not much. It's less than you'd think. It's more about the audibility of the sound, you know, like the sound's very, very specific. So you know exactly where they are. And it's really obvious as well. Like sometimes you can mistake footsteps for other things. But with wood and metal footsteps, you really can't. Oh, I saw flashes in here. Who's actually fighting? I saw some rounds clip here. Oh, that player? Looks like him. Yeah, voice line. I actually, you know, I never bothered testing voice lines, honestly. People don't really use them that much, and they don't need to use them, and then like, there's no advantage to. To knowing like what the actual audio range is, I would say. I need to get to this. Maybe we keep going around and coming from the top. I know the video, thanks for the explanation. Sometimes I feel people hear my steps across the map. I mean, it's a long way. It's a long way. You can hear people from a long way. If you jump, if you fall off anything, if you step down something and you make that clunk noise, it's really wide. Running whilst overweight is also quite loud, but it's not such a specific noise. Bushes are also really obvious, the noise themselves. A bit like the metal thing. Like, it's when somebody goes to a bush, it's like, you know that it's a bush. It's like a really, really obvious sound. Whereas running can sound like other stuff if you're far away, and especially walking. And also, it's partly because, you know, it's all about, like, the being able to actually identify somebody walking or running. And if they're walking or running, the person that you're, you know, the listener is walking or running, then everything... If you're walking or running, then it all sounds like... It all just sounds the same. Why is there so many shooting going on down here? How's your progress with the battle pass? I would say improved, but poor. Is probably how I would determine how it's gone so far. Should have waited, shouldn't I? I should have waited. We're now going to have to flank because this guy knows where I am. Talk about the Pass is the worst thing in this season. Yeah, I think it's particularly awful, but there you go. There's someone else on here. It was like two guys were like unable to kill each other. It's sort of how it felt. He went behind this wall somewhere. It's going to keep going. Hope he doesn't see me. From the other side. Although, I mean, this is a I'm being forced to go through a terrible route here. And potentially having to fight my way through the entire base, but I technically have to kill scavs anyway, so maybe it'll be okay. I'm going to go further actually. Time at 32. It's still actually kind of early. Oh, so early it is. I thought it'd be later than that, but I guess I did a little bit less messing about than normal. If I get caught here, I'm boned. You know me, I love a wide flank, and you know, I think we were talking about this at some point. We were talking about like you know, things to improve people's gameplay, and it's like, you know, you just have to be wide flanking if you're solo, and you just have to like do the flank, commit to it without worrying about like being third partied or whatever. Like if you just get shot in the head from someone else at this point, then you know it's bad luck, and that's just how it goes. If you don't commit to the flank, then they're going to know where you are, and then you're going to die. You're better off risking, you know, potentially pulling off some cool flank where you're now, because like I'm on the other side now, right? The guy's last, if you didn't hear me, the guy's last experience of where I was like A, miles away, and B, the other side. Vaulting is much quieter than jumping, by the way. Now, obviously, I might be in footstep audio range, so I do have to be a little careful. There's a load of scavs there. I'm going to kill them, even though it might give away my location. Well, I mean, that's kind of weird, but... I just kind of wanted to blow those up, to be honest with you. And I'm guessing the guy's, like, gone? Or maybe he's just hiding through here? I don't know. I'm not really sure. The fact that the scavs are there is, like, a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? New progression is good, trade level's good, gameplay stable, everything's nice, but battle class is ass. Yes. Doom player see barrels, do player kills barrels indeed. Oh yeah, this was a drum, I didn't need to reload. Forgot about that. No need to reload with the drum. Love the drum. That's why I put the drum on. Right, well, I don't know where this guy is, so we're just going to have to risk it and just go through. Because he's like right near the thing that I need to do. So we're just going to have to pop a painkiller and then just go for it. I might use a slightly better one. We'll pop golden star. Actually, that's not great. Actually, there's loads of food in there. It should be fine. Should be fine. Is PCP still good enough for the wipe, do you think? I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't really be using this gun, to be honest. I think you need 37 pound on everything. I mean, BCP may be okay. You mean for like 7.16 NATO, right? I think it's fine because the bullet is so, well, the caliber is just so damaging in general. I mean, this is where I saw the man. God, maybe he's gone. I don't know. He's probably not gone. He's probably just moving around somewhere. Where was the excavator? Is it down here or something? Yes, it was this one. Okay. I mean, he's probably got the, like, kill people in the smuggler base mission to do or something. That's probably why he was here in the first place. There's a couple of missions you need to be in here. Yeah, easily craftable. Yeah, ideally then you want it in 308, something with decent fire rate. Ideally, yeah. These are really worth a lot of money, so I'm going to try and not. There we go, I'll eat the sprats. May as well grab a few things down here. Yeah, because what's that 80 lot behind now? I can't remember. Delicious sausage. Go around, just grab a few things. Rations. Rations are so... this is cleaned out. Cleaned out. Sad. Just fill up on stuff that we could just sell to the trader at least. Worst case. And then hopefully, I don't know whether maybe this guy... I thought he might have like left at the top and then would have taken the car or something, but seems like no. I'm going to check the bags on these guys because I actually was the one that killed them. Suppose I technically should take a sprut. Double car first aid kit. Anything interesting? Bandage, no. Not interesting. Lay down slightly too far away. Okay, okay. Still got a few more slots. I'll give you these bits. So good for tools and stuff up here. I do feel like it's fallen out of favour though. I don't know why. Maybe just people are kind of past that point of progression. I often feel like the weapons boxes are just kind of useless. There's so many fights with people just like sat up here. Look, I'm just going to have a look for some ammo. Ass. What's that one? Tab 9, actually good. I missed this off. I only found this the other day. Oh, BP, actually good. I missed this off on my ammo search thing the other day. I think maybe did I miss off? I think maybe I did mention it. I can't remember. Can't remember now. What's that one? The UFM. T46. It's all right. So, trap 25, okay. It was in the video. Maybe I just mentioned it at cursory glance. just like PTSD from fighting this guy with an SR-25 in this bit. Never walked out this far. Didn't know loot spawns there. Yeah. The range is like an ammo spot. Not amazing one, but it can have some like decent-ish stuff. Found like CBJ up there and a few things like that. And you're not getting Terror Group Armory level of equipment, but it's all right. It's all right. It's worth a little gander if you think that there's no one else there. Usually Smugglers is a bit spicy. Is the problem. Do I have any more slots here? I actually do. A couple more slots. We may as well fill up. I think this is relatively safe. Definitely cursed myself with that one. Oh, a hose. They're worth like 100 grand. Worthwhile. Master files are a bit big. I don't think they're really worth it. There we go. We'll take these. Yeah, the nuts were like really expensive at the beginning, and now they're really cheap. And now bolts have gone expensive. So very odd. Up we go. And over we go. We'll go and loot these two after we've pressed the button. Footsteps in the vehicle extract? I didn't think so. Nah, no one's pressed it either. Docks one of those buildings? Oh yeah, I always forget. I keep forgetting about the stupid docks. That one. Orb? You don't even need orb keys. In what way? Oh. That's like actually good. Only the spawns? Okay. Whatever. Lion's nice. Found a raid lions, they're quite hard to find. Elite's too expensive, yeah. On the ground? Oh, okay. They're like 30k. It's fine. Did you try any of the hardcore servers during the WARDOGS beta? They were always full and never had the opportunity. No, I didn't even see them, actually. So I ended up getting into a normal server. Never mind the hardcore ones. Cool. Well, I mean, kind of boring. We got two more things for Punisher Part, whatever it is. We did get the next bit for this cord breach thing. Which was kind of the point. The blue fish, it made me jump. Well, the banker is going off, yeah. Sometimes it makes me jump. Do we need to hand this into him? Yes. That would have been annoying otherwise. Yeah, we only got two more there. Oh well. It's fine. What's this one? Living High? Yeah, Living High is what we need this for, because everything else you can just hand it in non-fanny raid these days. Living High is the tricky one. Two of these lions. You have to start getting to like relax room and stuff like that. Right, so how are we doing on these documents then? So, where were we at? I needed to claim 2 more awards on this page. And I needed test documentation, which is that one. I could technically grab this, or this maybe? Okay, there's a medical PMC user. We'll claim that. And then that one. I kind of would like this one, but you need like loads of test documentation for it. I guess it already tells you what you need for these ones, so. Microtech Jag Commando Knife. PMC personnel. So those are the ones I need, I think. PMC personnel and technical. Sorry, test. Shoreline Woods Icebreaker. Reserve Lighthouse Icebreaker. Really is Icebreaker I should go to technically. Where are they on Icebreaker? I I think. Which one do you start on? Do you start on 1? Must do. Yeah. Yeah, you start on 1. I actually don't really use the maps for Icebreaker, so they're actually a bit confusing to me to like look at the map. It's quite funny. Wait, what does the C3 card do? Can you get into the scientist thing? I don't think I've ever done that. I never did that bit. Hey, Virtue, what's up? Only spawn ground zero from medical battle spawn I know is in the coffee shop in front of Tower Green. Maybe just run a quick like Scav Icebreaker. Oh, sorry, Lighthouse one again. I always do it at night on Lighthouse for Scav because just otherwise it's just crazy. I should get Icebreaker open at this point. I haven't done it. I need to go and actually do it a few times because I need to kill the 30 rogues next. That's what I need to do. C3 is for right at the end of the quest. I don't even remember because like I've kind of done it all. I needed to go and can't remember what I needed to do left on Boreas. I've hardly got anything left. I needed like 1 Ultralink. Get a copy of the BTR driver. An audio tape inside. Oh, I see. Okay. You also grabbed one of the things for therapist? Oh, good point. Good point. Remind me when we finish this scav run, otherwise I'm going to forget. And we'll just play PMC next time and I'll just have it sat there in my quest inventory and then I'll lose it. Finished Boreas recently myself. I just haven't been bothered to go back to it on main. Maybe I'll do... I don't know. I'm not sure if I can be bothered to finish it on seasonal because you don't need to finish the actual storyline on seasonal, do you? Because there's no, like... Actually, I guess, can you... Has anybody actually completed the story on seasonal? Can you... I'm assuming you can. Who has done so? Vibin. Okay. I wonder if there's an achievement for it. I mean, I'm not going to bother, I don't think. Unless I do one of the, like, the lesser ones. But you need to grind, like, 500 million stuff. Just, like, stupid stuff. I'm just not really interested in that grind. It's not a very interesting thing for me to do for my, like, you know, content or whatever. What do you think about Peanut? I think he's a funny guy. I think he's a funny guy. I think he brings a lot of people back to their... Like, I don't watch him, but I think he brings a lot of people back to kind of like their good memories of like the good old days with the boys online. I think that's why people like him so much. Sometimes like, I actually don't really watch him at all now. The only thing that I see of him, and this is how I have always watched Peanut actually, is clips on Twitter. I saw him, I used to watch Peanut's clips randomly when they appeared from time to time. When they appeared on Twitter, and that's always how I've ever consumed Peanut actually, and that was before he became huge. Because he was posting like funny Tarkov stuff, and I was like, this guy's going to blow up because he's genuinely really funny. But like, I wouldn't watch the whole stream. Like, I think that's probably too much for me. You know, I think Peanut's probably a bit too much for me to watch. Like, probably 20 minutes is probably. He's very funny. I only see his clips too. Sometimes YouTube videos. Yeah, I think the best of is probably the right thing. But did you see Nick Merckx learning to play Tarkov? I saw there was a bunch of them. I thought there was like Hutch was guiding Tim and Nick, and maybe someone else as well. It was funny to watch. I watched the first, like, I skimmed through the first hour of them playing. Cause it's always hilarious to watch, like, people who are experienced with video games playing Tarkov for the first time. It's always genuinely really funny, the first bit. Once they figure it out a bit after, like, a couple of hours, and then it's just system stuff, then it's not as interesting. But the first bit's hilarious, because they just have no idea where all the controls are. So it's just genuinely really funny. Great to watch on the weekend for a bit when you've had a beer. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Nice to see you play, nostalgic. Absolutely, no, it's great. I wish I were not already bored of seasonal. I wish they'd done a seasonal prestige where you reset your accounts. They're just completely resetting. Blew up, he did. Indeed. He did indeed. Nah, he's a funny guy. I think he's funny. I understand why people like him. Like, when I saw him, I was just like, amazed this guy hasn't got more people, actually. Because comedy's, like, always... If you are fun... Like, it's hard to be... You can train to be funny, but if you're naturally funny, much, much easier to do well on content. Where the hell am I? Oh, I know where I am. Finally got my bearings. Yeah, it's much easier to do well on content if you're a genuinely funny person. And I said, you can train for it. It's funny, like, the number of people who did, like, stand-up improv and stuff like that in the streaming world and in the content world. But I think Peanut's just kind of got the natural gift for just being, like, the joker and coming up with stuff and being witty and whatever else. But Tim used the LEDX for the med task. Just so funny. So good. The fact it's like hand in these medical items literally straight off the bat, and you've just picked up the LEDX because it gave it to you in the storyline thing. It's like, I was in the tutorial, sorry, not storyline. Night Lighthouse looks a completely different map. It does. Especially when it's super dark. Like, it's really super dark right now. So the mayor's house is next. Tim playing EFT is hilarious. That LEDX cube is hilarious. GB, why can't I put your streamer item in the trophy room in the hideout? If I'm for them, want to keep them with a gigabig at any by slash space. I don't know. He has a good group now, the gimmick and no one playing for his jokes while I'm setting him up. I think you have to have a sense of humor to watch Peanut stuff live though, better from clips. Probably. That's the thing is I don't watch anybody live though. I can't watch stuff like that while also like working on anything. I can't have anything with words. It completely breaks my brain trying to do both. I just end up watching the thing. I end up not like actually doing anything. So I don't really watch anybody. And my downtime generally is related around like, you know, looking after the kiddos and everything else. It's don't have much time just like sit or whatever. When my kids were really little, I used to actually watch more streams than I do now. Am I looking in the right place? Is this the right one? Under the doodad and then on the bookshelf. Yeah, it's just not here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so when my, at least when my first was really, really young, I spent a lot of time watching Landmark Snowball stuff. That's when all the Snowball thing was going on. You know, you start off with the Makarov and you have to kill every boss in one life. That was like, and that was really good. I really enjoyed watching that. But I was like spending hours in the middle of the night, like with a bottle, feeding a little bab. Peanut's analysis of the hilarious. You delete everything you doing better off. A TARKOV season where you start every raid with a naked PMC would be interesting. I think that would get a bit dull after a while. You need some progression. A zero to hero, but a pure zero to hero mode. I mean, they're interesting for a bit. I don't think you want that all the time. But I agree with you that something like that would be kind of cool. That's why people have been asking for like some sort of hardcore character of some description, where it's like genuinely difficult to get things. Maybe even just a map. Could be like a specific type of event. So it's one of these on this chair, supposedly, like this. Very good. And then there's one. Where was it? Oh yes, it was supposedly under here. I'm yet to see this one under here, but was that a duffel? It was a duffel bag. Duffel bag. Duffel me this. Salt. Classic. Right, we'll cross the road again. Enjoy which engine you get pissed at him when they play together. They're a good combo for it, right? Because, like, he's such a troll. He doesn't care who he's talking to. It's just, yeah, it's just genuinely funny. There was one clip. Was it when Peanut killed Summit? I think it was that one. That was genuinely funny. Did you see Peanut eating Giga Beef? I think I've seen it, yeah. I think it's cool, though, that Peanut was, like, a TARKOV guy, you know? First and foremost, before. It's, like, it's quite neat to have somebody from our world blow up in that way. It's actually pretty good. Like, without Peanut, would these other guys be playing in seasonal? I doubt it. I'm giving it a try. Like, it's undoubtedly good for the game. Scav reserves good for PMC personnel files. I'm just trying to go through the maps one at a time that I've actually learned. I haven't bothered looking at the reserve one yet. It takes me a while. I don't really like doing loot runs particularly like this, so it takes me a bit of time to like commit this stuff to memory. I'm trying to like minimize the number of freaking locations I have to learn. Somebody's in there. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea to go in there. It's probably a scav, but I don't know. Technical documentation. Alright. Yeah, because there's 3 spots in there in theory. There one in the tennis. Oh, maybe I'll just skip it. Go straight to the tennis court. I don't know. Not that much time. I probably can't get them all anyway. Wait, have I gone the wrong? Yeah, I've kind of got a weird way here. Oh, it is just all scavs. Maybe we're fine. Yeah, it's all scavs, but we're fine. I hope. Oh, we'll take these guys back. There's one supposed to be here, I think. Somewhere? Oh no, maybe it's further back. Oh yeah, it's further back. It's this table. Okay, so it's not there. Yeah, I struggle to commit these to memory anyway. Never mind trying to do everything, every single map. Was it this room or this room? It's got like it's kind of good in some ways that we go to some different areas of the game, but in other ways it's a right pain in the bum. And then the table, I think. No feather filter? Not without MVGs, I don't usually bother. Oh yeah, there's one down here as well. Forgot about this one. Are we doing Battle Blast Dogs? Yeah, we're just doing a quick scav run. Some DPs. I'm just doing them here and there on the scav. It's a million times easier and a million times faster than me trying to remember to do it amongst all my other PMC stuff. What's wrong? Yeah, I've got a map for them. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I have a map for them. There's no chance in hell I'm doing this without a map. So 6 minutes. We've got enough time. Yeah, we should have enough time. Kitchen, floor by chair. I don't remind myself. Where was that one? Up in the bedroom, I think. Yeesh. Hard to navigate when it's so... Which map are you using? I'm just using the chord map one. Chordmap.wiki. But you could use TARKOV Companion if you wanted. This is just the first one that I found. Hopefully there's no PMC here with 5 minutes to go. Oh! What was that? What was that? Something's flashing up. What is it? You saw that, right? What's the dot flashing for? I don't see where it is. Unless it was something weird shining off the end of my gun. Maybe it was just the thing shining off the end of my gun. I don't know. Genuinely not sure. Other side of wall, maybe. Whatever. Was it this one? I think it's this room. Yeah, this one. Sick. And then what's the last set? Oh yeah, tennis. Do these boxes still spawn good stuff? Apparently they do. Why don't I have space? That doesn't make sense. TARKOV docks map is the best I've seen. What is that? Grip. Up here, apparently. Okay. Alright. Oh, what's up? No, nothing. Nothing! Okay. So we'll just head over to the bit over there. And not break our leg, because that would be sad. This happens to me all the time in relaxation room. There's something buried in the lazy boy that can't be picked up. Yeah. I've had it quite a few times this wipe where I've dropped something on the ground and I can't pick it up. Like I go to pick it up and it disappears and then reappears again. Don't know if you guys have had that. I think it might be to do with like, you know, anti-exploit stuff, but it's certainly affected the way that I can pick items up or not. There's certain things I'll like drop it so that I can organize my bag to then pick it back up later and then I just can't pick it back up again. Which is kind of annoying. Especially if it's like your helmet and stuff like that. Because these days, you don't get insurance fraud, so it just disappears. It's a bit painful. Oh god, I can't see these bushes until they're literally in my face. The one thing you don't want to hear when you're doing one of these runs. Contact. Tango spotted. Ah! Hey ho! Will WARDOGS be your backup game? I'm probably not going to play it on Twitch much. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe I will. But I'm intending to make some YouTube stuff about it. Because I'm going to be playing it with IRL friends. Is sort of the idea. But it's really good. I love it so much. Mortar aiming tutorial videos. It's not even that hard though, right? Because the mortar, it tells you what the range it is on the actual screen. I feel like it's very forgiving. Tells you on the dial what the distance is going to be. Wow, this was a bumper run. Look at this. Tells you what the distance is going to be on the thing, and then when you shoot it, it shows you then on the map where it will land it. It's like pretty easy. No, but actually, yeah, we'll see. We'll do some kind of tutorials, or maybe some other stuff like shenanigans strategies. Would be good. Look at this size. It's nice. 3 and 5. It's good. Very good. You need to know where to aim and what is the distance you need to shoot. Do people really need a video to say look on the map? I mean, they probably do. I'm assuming you could just use map ping to do it. I'm in playing some Broken Arrow. Oh, I haven't played Broken Arrow for a while. Oh, it's Igolnik in here. I played it a bit. I ended up not really getting into it enough. It was okay. Nice. That's actually pretty decent. Mac ping probably the way to go. I did not like the constant anti-air gunfire and mortars from the red base. Forgot the map. I assume everyone can build those. If you have like level 7 support, then yeah, you can. So we could claim this. Should we... Oh wait, yeah, no, we moved on to the next one, haven't we? Oh wait, no, I do have to claim these. Is this the coolest thing on here? The knife? Probably is, right? Pretty sweet. One, two. Three. Damn. Now we need more project documentation. That's fine, that's factory runs. Okay. We're slowly making our way through. Pretty sick now. So I've got two BD crates I'm not opening yet. The war quota was pretty cool. Right. Well, that's it for today. I can't wait for WARDOGS. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm actually going to make some more videos for WARDOGS soon, which is going to be nice. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Should be when I'm on next. I hope. We'll see. Well, good chat. We'll chat more about WARDOGS next time. Oh, turn in therapist task item. Yes, you are quite right. You are quite right. Where is my... Yes. Savior. Savior. Great seeing you. Cool stuff, friends. All right. Yep. So, yeah, I'll be back and we'll talk more about WARDOGS. I'm going to make some videos, talk about shenanigans, different strategies, things that people don't realize, and like things that how to actually get into the game properly and play the game, not just being infantry on the front line, do fun stuff. Until then, we will keep going with EFT and kind of see where we get to on seasonal. Hopefully, we find a boss eventually, and I finally get to Jaeger 3 because I'm just stuck on Jaeger until I get a boss kill. So we'll see. I guess I could technically just do Polikin Factory card at this point. Maybe I'll just do that next time. And yeah, until then, I will catch you soon. Have a good evening, everyone, or morning, or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you around. Bye, friends.